Hey everyone, welcome. It is Thursday night. Over here on the East Coast, it is a stormy Thursday night, but nonetheless,
yes.
it is NLG night. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the NLG
for yourself.
Show.
I got no storms here. It just
no
storms here.
You're not in the. I said East Coast.
East Coast.
You guys,
East Coast is the Beast Coast.
None of them listen.
Kind of
I'm down in Ohio. That's like.
You are not. That is not the East Coast.
East side of the country.
Ohio's just right beside me. We're not East Coast. We're not really.
You're no coast.
Nowhere. No coast.
We're the Midwest, Frankie.
Let me tell you something about Indiana. Gary, Indiana is like the most disappointing city on the planet.
I don't live
That
here.
is where. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. That is where Harold Hill is from.
Who?
The Music Man. Don't you? Have you?
The only thing Ohio's got
Oh, my
going
God.
for it is Miz the Wrestler and the Buckeyes, which aren't very good anymore either.
Oh yeah, the Miz. It's a good call. It's a good call.
Hey guys, we got a great special guest tonight.
He's from around.
Not special.
Oh my! Are you kidding me?
Not a special guest.
My lady said
Yes.
I did my hair.
You only come
washed
on
my
whenever
face,
E3 comes
God.
around.
I shaved. I brushed my teeth just for this.
Wow.
You brush your teeth.
Just for this occasion. Everybody, want to welcome in to everybody and our very special guest. We love when she comes on. She is an enormously intelligent gamer, someone we love very much. The great MamaCita. How you doing, boo?
I'm doing pretty good, guys. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah.
I agree, Super Cooper.
Yeah. But I'm not special anymore. I've been on too many times. I'm just a regular guest.
Oh, well, but
That's
it's been a
special.
while. It's been a while,
though. It's been a while, but
It's
it's good
been
to
a
be
minute.
back. It's good to be back with you guys. It really is.
It's good to
Glad to
have
have
you
you back
back.
on.
Good to have you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
I was looking at the last call that I was on. You invited me in, and it was July 18th of last year. So it was almost a year ago.
Oh,
Almost
wow.
a year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
see, we got to make this more than a once in a year thing. You can't do.
I feel
You
like
can't
I
do
was
this
here
on
for
the anniversary.
I think we do. We do.
Well, anytime,
Oh,
anytime.
wow. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So how
See,
you
there
guys
you go.
feeling?
see, De Niro said it right. MamaCita's on tonight, and Mike showered for the podcast. Coincidence? I think not.
And you smell good, Mike.
Well,
You
thank
smell
you.
really good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna run
Second
this.
shower of the week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run some video while we're introducing and talking and stuff, since we all know what we're gonna be talking about tonight. Tonight's all about Xbox and all about what they showed today, and So while we're talking, I'll give everybody some nice gameplay to look at. So, but
Here we go. Good. Yeah.
But Mama, how are you? How you been?
I've been good. Life is good. I cannot complain. But if I can get my schedule reduced to if I can get it reduced to 40 hours a week of work time, that'll be great.
Oh, yeah,
I agree.
Work is kicking my butt right now, and I've already worked from home, so COVID didn't really affect me too much.
Yeah. Same
Now
here,
that's the
but,
thing. My wife
yeah.
works at home, and she seems to do more working from home than she did when she was in the office.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's you tend to do more when you're home, because I think being at home, it's like people think you can just, I'm at home, so I can, the way I schedule my time will become easier, and it really doesn't, because you know where your priorities are, so you tend to let home life go by the wayside and concentrate more on work because you are at home.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's crazy. The crazy part is both my wife and I work from home, so we don't get it. The kids are around, and they're driving everybody nuts, and yet we're just never gonna. I don't know. It's like, I don't think my wife's ever going back to the office. I don't. It's just it's weird. It's just it's very different. So, and school, I don't even want to get into that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, but
Nick.
I'm so glad that you're here, and
I'm glad I'm here.
Still sporting that Recore poster behind you.
That ain't going anywhere. Well, maybe when Fable comes out, it might be replaced by a Fable poster. Maybe another 2 years, I'm assuming, when Fable comes out.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see when it comes out. I mean, we at least know it exists. Not that we didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
We know it exists, so it can get canceled. Right?
The worst kept secret.
It better not.
No, I know. It's like,
I don't think
cancel
there's
my
any way in
Fable.
hell.
Yeah, they canceled my Fable Legends, and I was heartbroken. I did a whole podcast on that.
Thank you. I remember.
Podcast.
You and I remember
Yes.
we did that show. We cried together.
Yes, that broke my heart. But they redeemed themselves today.
Yes, they did, and we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
the murderer of little fairies.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I do have that. That trailer.
This
We're gonna
one.
look at that trailer. Oh, I know
This
you
is the
like
one I
this
was
one.
talking
It's a good thing my
I-
daughter didn't see it, because it's like, oh, was it a fire fairy or a tooth fairy,
happened to Tinkerbell?
water fairy? It's like
Dead fairy.
It's like, who's gonna bake me brownies? She always like left notes outside on the porch. She has like a little fairy garden. It's like, oh, please send me brownies, and then the next day magically brownies show up.
Wait, how does this happen? How do we get a brownie fairy?
I don't know. They deliver brownies for some reason. To make sure the kitchen doesn't stink like brownies in the morning. But
Tell you what, the tooth fairy in this house is costing me a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a dollar or two here, it's like a
That's it.
full-blown
Yeah, you
Christmas
got-
gift almost.
my daughter now starts to ask for specific things. I want this from the tooth fairy. Okay.
I want a Nintendo Switch for the tooth
What
fairy.
happened to leaving the same silver dollar under their pillow?
Exactly.
I know, right?
You get like
Ask my wife.
almost like a gold dollar. It's like a golden collar.
Yeah. Nowadays you get the blooms.
It's like, hey,
Man,
trip to Target.
Right. I want a pony. I lost
Yeah.
a tooth. Oh, good grief. So anyway, here's that 12 minutes game. I just
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah. This right here.
I'm telling you, like, this entire sizzle reel was excellent.
Well, that's why I'm showing it.
It's excellent.
So, good night, So Generational Gamer came in for like 5 minutes and then he's going to bed because he literally goes to bed at 9 o'clock so he can get up at 4 in the morning. So good night, brother.
Wow.
Well,
No,
I
you
think, I
should
think,
stick
I think
around
it's 30
until
minutes before he
9:30.
goes. I think it's 30 minutes before he goes to bed because he has to charge all the switches.
As long as he gives us a thumbs up and share it out, That's all
That's
that
right.
matters.
Just
we
hit
don't
that like
we don't
button
care
on
what
the
he
way
thinks
out.
about gaming.
Yeah, hit that
Don't
like
listen to
button on the
Chris.
way out.
Say good night, thumbs up, share out.
There you go.
Night.
So, and of course, other members of the Gamers United Guild are representing tonight. We got Pete's in the chat. So what's up, Pete?
Love the Funko video, Pete. That was awesome.
Yeah, he
Graphic
loves those
God was
Funko
there.
Pods. Yeah, Graphic God from the great Retro Renegades, and of course Indie Gamer, who is a unofficial member at this point. Let's see who else we got in there. We got Daz. Hey, Daz.
Hey, look who's coming, calling in.
Daredevil Dave Dahl is in the house. LaPlanier is in the house. Back from the Dead is in the house. Of course, our brother Super Cooper.
Mhm.
So, Anthium, Supersonic Station. Phil Spencer hates us. Of course, he's gonna say that. So, just remember, guys, we want your opinions in the chat. Michael Garvey, he's here. The troll is here. We might have to talk about some Amico tonight with all the Amico bros in. Papa Pete's here. Pong by Atari is here. Richard Hayward is here. These are my peeps. These are guys. I've gotten so. Blues Tech is here. Blues Tech is driving cross country, and he's here.
wow.
He's driving to Washington
On
to
the West Coast.
Yep, he's headed to the West Coast, and yet here he is. He can't chat tonight, but he's listening. So,
Nice.
man,
Hope he enjoys the show on his
he does
road
too.
trip.
Look at this game, bunch of big old bullies beating up on the little guys.
This looks like Die Hard Arcade. So, yeah, we love you too, Dave. We're still waiting on one of these damn wrestling games to pick you up. So, all right. So anyway, then we got so lovely to have MamaCita in the house, and lovely here to get some Xbox talking with her, and of course we got the rest of the crew here. He is all decked out for opening day. He is in the game. He's not virtually in the stands.
No.
At a baseball
Actually,
game.
Due to the severe storms
Oh,
are here, the
Nate
game
showed
has
me
been
that
delayed.
picture.
Please exit the seating board. That was the last
All
message
one of
that
you.
we got. So
All one of you. So, anyway, HDK, Peter Heutink. How you doing, brother?
what's going on, man? Woo! Yeah, we had an awesome Microsoft show today, and in the past week I've been gaming Ghost of Tsushima. The game is growing on me. I'm actually enjoying it now. So in the
Okay.
beginning, I was wasn't feeling it. Didn't look too good. Didn't feel it, but once you start getting in a little bit farther, it becomes very enjoyable.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to get mine started this weekend, thanks to Frankie. So, by the way, I'm sorry. I missed Witty. I saw one tweet from Witty.
Wait, I
one
missed
post
it
from
too.
Witty in here. He was up there at the beginning. Witty and De Niro, my brother De Niro, which means I might have to talk about Amico tonight because he's in the chat room. Born Distracted. Yes, if I missed your name, I'm sorry. Not
Pong Atari. Up in
yeah,
the beginning.
I said Pong.
Chris, you already
He's-
said that. God.
Sorry, I have selective hearing,
Yeah, I know.
especially when it comes to you.
You say
that's
De Niro's
probably
in the
smart.
chat?
De Niro is in the chat. He's the
Hey,
one who
De
said
Niro.
he's the one who said I showered for you. So, all
What are you
right.
talking about, Christoph?
So
Hey, did you know Super
Nice.
Cooper's in the chat too?
I said Super Cooper.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad his battery's charged. He was able to make it home or make it to work wherever he's at.
Oh, what's he got?
Okay.
Has he got one of those smart cars?
He got an electric bike, but
Oh, that's right. He
he
does.
only, yeah.
No, we are going to talk. We can take a couple minutes to talk about the Amico durability test. I don't know how many people saw that video,
Oh
but
yeah.
oh, it's
That was
freaking
funny as,
hilarious.
man.
Oh my god, it was so funny. That whole thing was just hilarious. Especially, like my favorite part of that video. We can talk about that in a few minutes. I want to get to everybody else. The semi, at least this evening, the semi-positive gaming guy. he seems a little.
Because we got different opinions on the Xbox show. I see.
He's a little gruff tonight.
Yeah.
But
Look, he's all on camera too.
I
I'm
know.
all relaxed. I was at the pool earlier. I don't know about y'all.
Oh, that's good.
While everybody else is acting like a fool online. Back and forth. I went to the pool with my daughters.
There you go.
Right,
Did you
so-
social
Alright.
distance?
Good.
Turn it all off. Social
Yes.
distance quite a bit from
Mhm.
social media.
So, he is the man though with the epic beard, who is challenged by other beards, but fights them off.
He's
pretty well.
lost. All right, he's
No.
lost. Dreadpool's beard, best beard.
Now I will give Dreadpool his beard, but Chris has got an epic beard. Chris,
Rippro's got a great beard. There were some great beards last night in the
oh my God, yeah,
Beyond the. Yeah.
that's some serious
So,
facial
much
hair on
respect
Gaming
there.
Beyond the Box.
One day I'll be able to respect Frankie again.
Yeah, probably when I retire.
Yeah. But
So from now on, we'll
it's been
call
a
you Beard.
good week. Short week for me. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Took today off, and tomorrow's my regular Friday. So, and I started playing Carry On this
Oh,
morning.
that's right.
I got up, so
How is that?
loving that. Chewing up all those Frankies.
It looks pretty cool.
So
Special Reserves doing a physical version for the Switch if anyone's into that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, then we'll expect a full report on Carry On next week then from you, sir.
yeah, yep. And
Good.
I might even capture some gameplay. I picked this up. Picked up Aver Media
Oh,
live stream duo with the capture card and the camera.
oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
So I'll get
I've
that
heard
set
good
up.
things about AverMedia.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting serious here.
yeah.
Nice.
Serious. Serious Chris.
All right.
Series.
He's fiddling with his stuff. There he is.
Oh, what happened?
Phew, it's so
Safety
hot.
first.
Thank you, brother.
God.
So you can show people. You don't have to put it on. Show people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Oh.
Well, let's look in the devices, see what we see. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we see the
Serious.
podcast. In the
My
live.
Halo hat too.
Good show.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Ah.
He is the spicy one. He is the console hugger. He is the man who's got the guns and the guns. What's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing
Awesome.
good.
Awesome to be on the show. I watched the Xbox showcase earlier, but earlier this week, like Frankie and Chris, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been playing that.
You
I
mean
also.
Peter. Chris
Oh,
is
that's
uncultured
right.
swine.
Shoot, that is right. Oh, sorry about that, Peter.
He's not sorry. Don't
Yeah, no.
half-hearted apology.
That and I picked up Paper Mario, but I've yet to been able to play it yet. I've been working a lot of overtime, like MamaCita at work. So my schedule this week, I've been lucky to get like an hour or two here and there. I've been trying to squeeze in, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. Maybe over the weekend, hopefully. But it's good to be on here. I haven't talked to MamaCita. I think it's been about since 2015 when we. Early on in the podcast when you were on, and we didn't even have video at the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Has it been that long?
Yes, since
Yeah.
I've talked to
Google.
yes.
Wow.
Google Hangout
Yeah,
days?
been that long. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you remember I remember it may have been the last time we were on because I had an issue with I didn't like The Witcher 3 at the time. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, just know that I played it in December of last year. I
Right,
played it on the X in all its glory. Okay.
right.
Absolutely loved it, John. Could not put it down.
Hey,
Yes.
MamaCita.
So I need
Yeah.
to tell you, I could not put it down. I
Wait.
ran straight through it. I just went.
Yes.
I did not put it down.
I love it.
Absolutely
Wait.
loved it.
Wait, John, you like The Witcher 3?
Oh, it's one of my favorite
That's a-
all-time
Yes,
games. Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't like it. I remember I was on the podcast saying how
In fact-
disappointed I was.
In fact, the biggest gripe people had were the combat, but I have yet to
Yeah.
play an RPG that's as great as The Witcher 3. I'm sorry. I'll argue with anybody.
It was
It's-
smoother
it's
on
top
the X
notch.
though.
I take
It was
back a
smoother on the
fraction of
X.
what I said earlier.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Here I thought you only played terrible games.
No, I love The Witcher. No, I've got the 1,000 gamer score. I did the DLC.
Oh, you
I
got
mean,
1,000 gig.
Yeah, I spent hundreds of hours in The Witcher. Love that. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you right now. Relish it, because this will probably never happen again.
Yeah. Well, until The Witcher 4.
Is there like a button I can press where like the floor drops out from underneath Frankie?
I give you a compliment.
The shark with laser beams button.
Right, start with smoke.
Freaking laser beams.
For a second, I thought you wanted to give yourself the golden ticket.
But yeah, I remember that. We didn't have any video or anything. MamaCita she was on the show a couple times. We had a good old time, but we couldn't see each other. I mean, but that was back in 2015, I think.
Wow.
Okay. That's about right. It's about right.
Good job, Mike. Way to
What
bring
did
people
I
together
do?
all these years ago.
All these years, it's not my fault.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Mike. Not
John
everything I say is a bad thing, unless it's about Chris.
John got a job.
Frankie, can you come? I got a package you can organize.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right,
okay.
so
I thought we weren't playing the Pop Rocks commercial.
All right, Daz is trying so hard to goat me. I swear to God,
isn't he?
He does not understand what the color gold is. He just doesn't. He's colorblind.
Right.
What?
So I'm just gonna shine my light on the wall. You know what?
Oh, you've got gold walls.
Yes, it's gold. The color
It's not.
is gold.
It's not canary yellow or any of those other colors. No, it's gold.
Color is gold.
I thought it was yolk yellow. Egg yolk yellow.
Did you say, does he have gold walls?
Yes, he's got gold walls. Yeah.
Look at Can you see the podcast screen?
Yeah, I can't see
It's
you.
nice
though.
and tiny.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what you need to do? You need to click on my window and do show full screen. That should show. That should get everything.
Okay, gotcha.
I did that, but it just blew up John's video feed, so now I just turned the screen off.
Yes. Or put me on the center stage.
There you go. Pong says that's maize here in Michigan.
Now you need to have silver baseboards.
Garvey,
so you can have silver and
Garvey,
gold.
don't you help him. Don't you help him. You either, indie gamer, don't you help him.
Silver and gold.
Oh, there you
gold.
Silver and gold.
It is gold. I have gold walls.
Right. Yeah.
This is yellow. This right here is yellow.
Yeah.
Right.
That is not yellow. This.
So Megatron, when Invader goes,
the bottle does
get
not
that camera on, then he can get that camera on.
Somebody said
Right.
real gold. That's right, indie gamer. It's 18 karat.
Yes. And I'll kill anybody that comes in here. Daz said the bottle is gold. Shut up, Daz.
If that was real
shut
gold,
up.
I'd be over at Mike's house scraping it off with the scraper.
Hey, Frankie, how you doing?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
been a long, hot week.
What are you sorting paperwork?
I'm bagging and boarding my comic books in the past month and a half.
Anything good?
A couple things. They're doing a Dark
Sam.
Knight's Metal follow-up, so I got those. I got Batman Beyond, Spider-Man, all this junk, so all kinds of stuff.
All right. So what games that we've never heard of have you had a chance to play this week?
None actually. I've only been playing one game this week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But my new thing, and this is probably your fault, but like, I keep buying older games, and I reobtained yet another Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
Got some
You're
good
welcome.
stuff. Got Skies
You're
of
welcome.
Arcadia. Got Spiderman. You got Test Drive 6. Got a bunch of other crap. House of the Dead 2. Crazy Taxi. Some sports ball games.
Sports ball.
So,
Why
yeah.
did you get a sports ball game?
It came with the Dreamcast. It came with Soul Calibur, Tee-Off Golf.
Tee-Off was
World-
good.
Yeah. I remember liking that. World Series Baseball 2K1.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I didn't realize Pedro Martinez was on the cover for 2K1 and 2K2.
Yes.
2K2.
Yes. Yeah, he was on for
That's-
2K. He was on 2K2 as well.
That was the last one they did, right?
Yes.
I got a 2.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Because I've never owned any of those games, but like every time I went to Toys R Us, like and the Dreamcast demo kiosk was out, like that was what I played because that was like back in the day when I loved baseball. So I'm kind of excited because I've always wanted to get that game, and now I finally get around to it. Maybe I'll play it at some point. Who knows?
The only thing that bothered me about the game was you couldn't control your fielders.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was great.
Those were the good old days, guys. That's where you went and plucked out your little receipt from the little package there, and took it up front and paid for it, The little tickets they had.
Yeah. Yep. The old art zone.
Skies of Arcadia. What a.
Yep, I spent a little bit of money on that. I didn't. I knew that game jumped up in price a lot, but spent $120 on a copy of it. So, but its case looked beautiful. Discs are flawless. Has everything.
Oh.
One of those 2-disc ones that the case isn't all fucked up. So.
Well,
That's before Amazon shipping.
That's why you shop at local shops. You don't buy anything off Amazon.
Right.
I try to stay local. As best I can. Except I get that retro game treasure thing every month, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So what did you pay for it?
$120.
Yep, that's
Yeah, it seemed about going great. Because I hopped on eBay to see where it was at. So
the current rate on game value now is $124.99.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it was worth it.
Oh, very much so. So,
I've always wanted to play it too, and I've just never either I didn't have the money or I could never find a complete copy. Because I'm like, I have to have like the book, the case has to look nice. Like I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people. So,
yeah, I'm not so much of that anymore, but I hear you. I definitely hear you. So, all right, so let's jump right in because we got only a couple of things tonight. So we'll get to the main part, the main event first, and then we'll talk Ghost of Tsushima later. Although if you guys wait a little bit, I'm going to start it tomorrow.
We can wait. I would rather wait honestly and have you as part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited to play it.
Yeah, we'll wait then, because I know Peter's opinions changed. Mine's starting to change just the more I played it. So, yeah, let's wait. We'll talk about that next week. Because what could possibly happen between now and then?
Easily influenced.
De Niro says he digs that Record poster, Mama.
Hey.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
Well.
Yep.
Okay, so unless you lived under a rock, the Xbox game showcase was today, and they've got plenty of games to look at and talk about. And I want to start by getting some. I want to start with the general impressions, the overall impressions, and then we'll go game by game. And what I kind of want to get from you guys is kind of threefold. I think there's two ways to look at this show, and I began to look at it in two ways, which actually gave me two different opinions. Number one, I'm not watching Daz because Daz is trying to throw me off. It's still Thursday here, Daz. Number one, it was a game showcase to show games. That's one way to look at it. And they did. Last I checked, these were games.
Maybe.
Are you looking... So look at it from games. Look at it from... The other way to look at it is this was their chance to start selling you on the Xbox Series X. And then, putting those together, what did you like? What did you not like? Or not what did you like and what did you not like? Let's put it this way. What was the favorite thing you saw? What was the least favorite thing you saw from a game perspective? So, number one, overall. Number two, sell you on Series X. 3, best thing you saw, least best thing you saw. Peter. Actually, you know what?
Ladies first?
Ladies first.
Ladies
Okay.
First.
All right. Okay, so we doing. Wait, make sure we doing overall.
So we're gonna do overall. What'd you think of the show as a whole?
Mm-hmm.
Did it convince you to pre-order the Series X when they decide they're actually going to, tell us how much it is and when it's coming out? And then, what was your favorite thing you saw and your least favorite thing you saw?
I mean, overall, far as showcase, I gave it. If I had to give it a grade point, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Did it convince me to purchase a Series X? It did. Well, let me say it this way. I was waiting to see what they were going to show us today. I wanted to, okay, let me see what the direction is. I am being in a part of the gaming community the past 5, 6, 7 years online, I should say, or the internet gaming community, I should say. I'm aware of how long it takes for developers to actually make a great game. So I didn't come in here expecting to see in-engine gameplay from all of the game studios and that Microsoft had purchased. I just did not come in there with that expectation. So let me say that. But what I was looking for, what I was expecting, I got at the very end. And that was that Fable is being made. It's going to be developed by Playground Games. And that was enough for me to say, let's pre-order the Series X. If they had put up pre-orders after that, I would have gone in order because I absolutely love and adore Fable. So that was the best thing as well that I saw. As far as the work, I don't know. I didn't really. I can't say that something was worse, other than I think the flow of it was pretty good. But I kind of wish I saw more. The games that they did show, like Medium, Everwild, State of Decay 3, I would have liked to see some gameplay. I would have preferred to see. The CGI trailer looked absolutely gorgeous, but I would have liked to see, is that going to actually translate into gameplay? But I don't really have any gripes about it. I can't say I was disappointed in it because I went into it with, I think my expectations were kind of low from the start because I knew, okay, what are they really going to show us? Are we really going to be able to see what NXL has been working on? Are we going to really see Fable? And are we going to see a demo? Are we going to really see that? No, we aren't going to see that. But yeah.
I mean, they showed a lot of games, and they gave us a teaser of a game that's probably 2 years out, and people have been asking Xbox to do that in the past, and well, they did that at the end. Now,
Yeah. Here it is, by the way. Here it is. Yeah, exactly.
One of the worst kept secrets, but
Yeah.
Playground was doing it, but
I mean,
there were people doubting it though too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Xbox does have a lot to prove because we all know they started off pretty hot last gen. They came out with some really, exciting games to play, but we know they fizzled towards the mid to the end actually.
Like
and so
Phil Spencer took over.
Well, yeah, we know how that went. We know how that went. So I think they do have a lot to prove. They do have more to prove. In a perfect world, I would have loved for them to come out and show, give us 2, 3 of their bangers and let us see actual gameplay. In a perfect world, I think that's what we all would have liked to have seen today. But I think my expectations, when am I really going to see that? Because I can't see them being able to put that into production at this point. That's all. So I guess my expectations were pretty low, so I wasn't necessarily disappointed.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
But I was extremely excited at the end. Let me say that I put my phone down right when was that Matt Booty at the end when it was about to end and wrap up. I put my phone down. I was like, okay, well, that's it. And then he said one more thing, and I went, and then when I saw the little fairy, I was like, this has to be Fable. I'm listening to the accent. This is Fable. And then once I saw that, I screamed, and all was just super. I was on a super high.
Nice.
And I was dancing and clapping and dropping it like it was hot. And
Dropping it like it's hot.
It's been 5 years. Take it slow.
Hey, it's Fable. She's been talking about Fable for a long time.
yes, and here's the thing: when I saw it, because my question has been, are they going to reboot the entire series, or are we going to see a Fable 4? And that was my question. And from what we saw Fable. We didn't see Fable 4. We just saw Fable. So I hope I'm assuming well that means there's going to be an entire reboot of the series. And so I've got tons of questions of where are they going to go with that? Where are they going to start? Are we going to see how the Heroes Guild was, the development of the Heroes Guild? Are we going to see, the hero of Oakvale, the mother, I think it was Scarlet. Are we going to see Teresa's story, or how are they going to incorporate the original story from the first game? I would like to see more lore from Jack Black. I just hope they give us more of the backstory of Fable versus just, I guess, rebooting from the original.
Be interested. Yeah. I mean, they definitely got the humor in there, the British humor with
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny when Tinkerbell got eaten. So it's funny you mentioned a reboot and the fact they didn't call it Fable 4. I don't know. Did you guys all notice that the big three, none of the big three games have a number on it?
No, neither does Forza. No.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Forza Motorsport is not Forza 8. Fable is not Fable 4. And Halo is not Halo 6.
Well, it is Halo Infinite.
Well, but what I mean by that is, so I read something.
Not continue with the sequel numbers.
Well, what I mean, but how much rebooting are they doing of these series? So there was something that I read shortly after the show today, where and I put it up in the Discord. So let me grab it off the Discord real quick. In USA Today, Chris Lee, who's directing Halo Infinite, describes the game as a spiritual reboot centered on continuing Chief's story while paying tribute to where it all began, 2001's Halo Combat Evolved. So that's where they're going with Halo, which is why they're starting, why it looked like, I think, the way it did today.
That's a good analysis there, Mike. I really didn't look at it that way.
So,
but now that you think about it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good deal, Mike, because, once you get 6, 7, 8 games deep or more in a franchise, you come out with, like, let's say Halo 10 or 11, then it just becomes another Halo. If you reboot it or kind of take a page out of God of War even.
Right.
And kind of start over, it creates, it's a little more fresh.
I agree.
Yeah, because you look at Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsport, they had all new engines built built for the next gen, and then of course, and then Fable. I guess Fable's using Unreal. Not sure what they're using.
They didn't say.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if using Unreal 5. But also, someone had pointed out too that when you look at Fable at the end and the bottom, it only said Series X and PC. So if it's coming out in a couple of years, I don't see that coming out on that game coming out Xbox One, and maybe Forza Motorsport may not either.
The Forza was the same way, which
so
I think the medium was too.
Well, yeah, the medium they said was right, which we're not going to get a Forza at launch. That's what that means.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think we were.
So
The
It's
Forza
just
you
too
get
much
a
going on
launch
to
is
consolidate.
Forza Horizon 4 with,
Mm.
that would be
optimized.
nice. Well, I think Playground Games a little busy right now.
Well, they
Yeah.
said they're
Yeah.
optimizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So, all right. Because I want to start getting into games too. So, Peter, you're next. Overall, well, and I know the answer
Yeah, I think
of
it
the
was
Series
a,
X.
it was a good show. It met my expectations. I mean, I didn't, like, if you go in there with, with expectations that can be met, you won't be,
Right.
disappointed. So, was
We called it
cautiously
cautious
optimistic.
optimism. Right.
Yeah, and what they showed it met my expectations. I mean, it started off strong with Halo. I got the original Halo vibes. It's like, I really want to play this right now. It's to me that was the most fun that I had with Halo was the first one really, and it really brought me back down, to those days. And it's like, so much fun, including like the stupid steering in a Warthog.
Yeah.
It's like,
Point here to steer.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
All right.
Looks like it's going to be the same thing. And then the rest, they showed some good games. Forza, a little short, not too much about cars and tracks, more like, kind of showing like, the kind of I don't know if you want to call it a real reboot, but it just kind of a more thing. You saw the posters on the wall, which looks like maybe races that you can, that are coming up. It looks like with the cars on the track that you did see, I mean, it still looks like that needs work. So, and also like, what we just discussed, that it says just Series X. This game is not going to be at launch or any, not too near in the future. So a little bit out, maybe 22 or something like that.
No.
And then the finale with Fable. It's like, there's Fable, and you get all excited, and it was so short. It's like, really? Nothing more? That's a little let down. It's like,
tease
give
me
your
like
Fable
that.
back.
Please.
Yeah, we're not really going to show you a whole lot.
Yeah.
But what I did show was just funny.
We're already hurt from Fable Legends.
Yeah, exactly. So
So,
let's
Hey.
we'll wait and see. Oh, but the one game, State of Decay 3, that looks so good. I'm curious what the actual gameplay is going to be. I mean, it is a recurring theme, right? It's not much gameplay except the Halo. That was like true gameplay. And the rest was like, what's it going to look like once I have the control in my hands and I'm controlling one of those characters? Is it still looking good, or is this,
Yeah.
all right. So we know.
Overall,
I don't have to ask you about the
Oh,
Series
yeah,
X.
There's one thing is like, what makes you want to get an, show me the difference between like Series X versus not. They showed you Ori and Will of the Wisp in 120 hertz or frames per second.
Right.
And that's the Series X, and that looks like fantastic. Maybe I can finally finish that level if I get more precision.
Okay. So, but I know you're already in on the Series X, so it's this did not deter you from that.
It did not deter me. It's but it also didn't say like, oh yeah, I must have this day one.
Right. That's okay. All right. So, favorite game you saw, least favorite game you saw.
Favorite game I saw. Oof. I don't know. There are a couple of favorites, and those are the ones that are already named. I mean, Halo, the gameplay looks good. Graphics-wise, looks not as shiny as like, Forza, the hub, and Fable, what we've seen. My least favorite was what was the game? I think it was Double Fine. What's that game called?
Psychonauts.
Psychonauts.
Oh, yeah.
The quality didn't look very
Forgot about
strong.
that.
Not your type of.
It might be my type of
Psychedelic
game.
for you?
Just when I looked at it, it's not like, it didn't look like next gen to me. So
Right. Okay. All right. Cool.
overall, again, my thumb is up.
All right. Just a single thumb?
Yeah, I mean
Just
it's
single
just a
thumb.
single
Okay.
thumb. I mean it's not like it's fantastic. It's like it met my expectations. It was good.
All right, there you go. See, objective and passionate.
Oh, this one
That's
looks
what we
good
are.
too.
Yeah,
like-
medium.
Medium.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Mr. Fastback.
According to Frankie, everything was great for me. Perfect. They could do no wrong. No. Um, I really enjoyed I really enjoyed the show. I go into these shows knowing that I'm not going to get everything. And like MamaCita said, that a lot of these games, you have a couple of new acquisitions a couple of years ago. It takes time. So I kind of figured going into the show. Of course, I had a feeling, and I remember calling it out last night in the Chat and Beyond show, that I figured Halo was going to start the show because, I mean, they've been advertising the crap out of it these past couple of weeks, and that just seemed like they would start the show with that, in which they did. And then, and I even said I figured maybe Fable will end the show, because what other big game, something that people have been asking for. So, but no, I went in, I was expecting Halo and some gameplay, a lot of talk of that, and right away they did that. Right away you saw it said demo. So now I'm wondering, are we getting a demo here soon that we can play?
Maybe.
So I think that's what we're going to play, what they showed. Probably the biggest surprise for me, and I didn't think they would be ready, was State of Decay 3 from Undead Labs. I knew they were just acquired 2 years ago, and it's still early. We got a CG trailer, but I'll tell you what, that looked great. I didn't even know what that was when it first. I was like, "Whoa, what is this? Is this a new IP?
Yeah.
Who's this? Is this Initiative?" And then of course as it went through, and it's like, whoa. So it looks like we got some animals infected, and the deer's eating the wolves, and
Yeah.
if they show what they show there, the way it looked, I would expect the game to be a big upgrade from the last two. So I don't think they would show it like that. And
Well, now they get a proper budget and they don't have to
they
worry.
got the budget, they got the help they need, maybe a new engine,
Mhm.
probably Unreal Engine 5. I wouldn't expect that game for maybe till 22 at least.
I think anything that uses Unreal Engine 5 is probably looking at
Yeah.
probably 22, maybe holiday 21. But
Yeah. But Halo, I really enjoyed that going into the gameplay. My eyes are bad, so I'm not like everybody else. I cannot tell the difference between 60 and 30. I know they were trying to show us 120 between Ori, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I think I could see the difference. But no, my eyes are shot. So I thought Halo looked good. It looked quick, looked fast. I love the cable.
right. And the thing for me is like the faster the frames per second, the faster you control inputs, etc. So it becomes more responsive.
Right.
It looked responsive.
Even if it's
Yeah, I was gonna
responsive,
say-
people can see it, but just the responsiveness, it's like
Yeah. Frame rate is
I thought it
smooth.
looked responsive.
Frame rate is smoothness. Your eyes can see smoothness even if it can't. You're thinking of
Not my-
resolution.
No, not even that.
Really?
I can't even see. Seriously, I was able to tell like when I got the Xbox One X, and the first game that I played was Sea of Thieves, and definitely shot. But everything just popped. Everything looked colorful, just looked crisp, But I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was 4K or not, 1080. So that's just me.
Oh, that I
Anyways,
can
but,
understand.
Yeah. But no, Halo looked great. I liked the gameplay. It looked quick. It looked like the old what Halo was before. And I guess 343 took all the input, the feedback, criticism, and I guess they decided, well, let's go back to what Halo was the first three. And 343 is no stranger. They also help Bungie back in the day on the couple of the old Halos.
Well,
and who's involved with the music?
I thought, what's his name is back?
Gareth
right?
is back.
Gareth
Yeah.
Coker. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Marty O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because Gareth did
Ori.
Conquer
Yeah.
But,
Mario.
didn't he
He
also
did
do,
Ori.
like
and Ori. I know he did Ori, but he was more
Halo
famous for
1, I
Conquer.
think, maybe? I thought he was involved, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, look.
Um,
Have a look.
he definitely did
But
Conquer.
whatever it is, I mean, he's a fantastic
Yeah.
musician.
He did the music
Yeah.
for the Darksiders Genesis, which is excellent.
But
All right.
overall, I saw a good variety, a diverse set of games. We had a couple surprises, like we had Avowed from Obsidian, their new RPG. And that's after them, doing Outer Worlds, and then a side team working on Grounded. And Exile, I was hoping that they were going to show their RPG because they are working on something else. But it seemed like the studios that were ready to show, they showed them now, and then they probably let's hold off. They got a couple, I think 6 more studios that might show something, so maybe we'll see that in August.
I hope so, because no compulsion, no.
Yeah, but I don't. I think that either they're holding them off for the next show, or they're just not ready right now. I mean, we saw 9, wasn't it 9 studios? I don't-
Something like that.
So I just don't understand how everybody can think that all 15 studios will have something ready to show now. There's just no way.
Well, I get
Hey, you don't want to have them
expectations.
all coming out with the game at the same
No.
time. 'cause
No,
then
that's
you have
true,
a gap
too.
Game for for 3 years, so
Yep.
you need to stagger that.
No,
No,
I agree with that.
I'm with you, right, Mike. When I watch a show like HCK, I'm already in on the Series X, and it's not because I was before this
7
show,
of them.
because I want to have the latest
3
greatest
triple X.
hardware. I like doing that every gen, just like I was when I was ready to get off of 360 and start on Xbox One. So I think these games are going to look good and play a little better on the Series X. So I'm happy. And it looks like a couple games like Fable and State of Case 3 and Forza Motorsport are going to be next gen.
TH3
You know what
franchise says hi, Mama.
One of the best things was
Who
of
is
this show. That
TH3 franchise. He says,
Oh,
"Hey,
okay.
Mama." Oh, it's Haas.
Hello.
He says, "This Haas."
Oh, hey,
HOZ.
what's up, Haas? All right.
But the best thing of what was shown was like all these games are coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Woo!
winner.
Made that
I'm
clear.
the winner there.
That's the winner. I'm
That's the
I'm
winner.
still set for the next 3 years, I think. So
Yeah.
I probably can play them all.
Yup. So.
My
All right.
daughter was sitting there with me, my youngest one, and she liked playing Halo Neighbor, and so she was happy to say Halo Neighbor too.
Yeah,
I know
my
it's not for
son looked
everybody,
at.
but
My
that-
son saw that.
Yeah, that was
So.
she enjoyed that.
All right. So favorite
Everwild.
game. Favorite game and
My
least favorite game.
My favorite game was State of K3. That was a big surprise for me.
Okay. Least favorite.
Not so much
You can pick one. It's okay.
no. I didn't really have one that like. Well, if you look at Dragon Quest 11, I know some people make a big deal, but that's not my thing.
There you go.
Nothing negative. It's not my thing. So
There you go.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Spicy Johnny.
Hello.
Hello. We already know you're buying an Xbox Series X. So
Yeah.
what'd you think of the
If it's huggable, it can be on the
Well,
That's right.
going on the shelf, right?
Yeah, well, I am the console hugger, and I was going to buy the plastic from all the console makers regardless. So I went into the show with an opening mind, and what's kind of cool about it is the last few years PlayStation's kind of become my main console, but I still love my Xbox. And I've kind of taken a hiatus from Xbox a little bit, and I still play from time to time, but it gave me a clearer mind going into watching the show. Overall, I thought the show, if I was to grade it on like a scale 1 to 10, it'd be a 7.5 to 8. It was good. It was what I expected. I know that on last episode, I knew that they were going to talk about Halo. I knew they were going to talk about Forza. So for me, I was wanting to see other things besides those two games. Something that made me say, wow, I've if I didn't have this console, this game something blows my mind. I wanted not to take anything, because Halo and Forza are very good games, but I wanted something to pull me in a little bit more. I liked what I saw. I liked the idea that they just, they're calling it Halo Infinite. I like the fact that there's not a number behind it. I kind of like the same thing with Forza. After a while, you get so many of these games, it's like the movies. You got Friday the 13th, part 13. After a while, it kind of they kind of start losing their luster. So
especially with those racing games, like the same tracks,
right? But yeah, I mean, I liked the show. There were some good segments. There were some good games by Remedy. The game The Medium. Of course, Playground Games working on Fable. I did have some concerns, though, because I was a huge Fable fan. Fable 2, out of the Fable games that I played, Fable 2 is probably the top on my list. But, that's back in the days, Peter Molyneux and the Fable games. And granted that they're making this Fable game, and I know Playground's a good developer. It's gonna remain to see whether they can capture that original spirit they had of the original Fable series that people loved. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the third Fable game, but the second game was awesome. I heard a lot of people talk on the show, well, the graphics or this doesn't look quite. There's so much emphasis anymore on frames per second and graphics. It's like people are forgetting what games are all about. And granted, we all like to see that eye candy. But when I watched this show, I wasn't, there were some things in Halo that I thought didn't look that, that didn't look that next gen to me. But I was excited to see a Halo game. I'm like Chris. When you're playing a game, you can feel the frames per second, but that's not the end all of a game. I mean, if it's 30, 60, 120, I don't care. If you're playing a good game, it's a good game. As far as resolution, the human eye can only see so much. So, when you get up into those higher resolutions, I'm more concerned about new IP, new ideas, fresh storylines, but overall, I thought the show was what I expected. It like some of the other guys who previously stated, it didn't blow my socks off or anything. Neither did the Sony show. They both.
You don't even wear socks.
Right.
Yeah, they were already blown off like a couple of gens ago.
But yeah. But I would have to say, out of all the games, Mike, my favorite game. There's a couple. The Medium and Crossfire, those two games, I don't know. They meant more to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Halo, but I've played a lot of Halo. I've raced a lot of Forza. So the Medium and Crossfire, two games I'm kind of interested. So those would be at the top of my list. And like some of the others, my least favorites, Psychonauts and Gunk, those two games, I'm sure that they're going to be great games. They just don't fit into the type of games that I would play, and probably games that I wouldn't even buy, or even if they were free. I just don't see myself playing those two games. Like I said, overall, the show I thought was good. It's what I expected. I had already planned on buying the console. I can't really answer for other people. I know that I guess if I didn't know much about the Series X or anything, I don't know if it was enough to make me, go out and want to have it. I'm buying it just because I have a great love for video games, and I'm trying to support everybody. But yeah, was not a bad show. There were like 21, 22 games that I counted.
That's a lot of games.
A lot of games. They had the Sega Phantasy Star online too. Little deal there for that game.
What about that Rare game?
They had the Rare
Everwild,
game.
Yep.
And then
yeah,
Yeah, that did look good.
And then they had that game Dot Nod, that Tell Me Why, which
Yeah,
I'm showing
that
now.
game. Now that game was interesting to me, and you know
It's coming in August too.
the thing with
And-
Moon Studios, I thought it was cool that they're having I guess the special version of Ori, but I still need to play. I've got the special edition that I haven't played yet. I don't know if being in 4K 120 hertz though. I don't know. Me as a gamer, that's not going to make me buy it if I hadn't already bought it, if that makes any sense.
If you can
I
have
mean-
it, it won't hurt.
If it was 1080 and 30 frames per second, I'd still buy the game. So if it's a good game, it's a good game. So that doesn't, they've got then they talked about the Outer Worlds DLC, the Perils of Gorgon. That looked kind of interesting. What I did find interesting, like we talked about, was Forza. There was no number after it. There's no like Forza 8, Forza 9. So it kind of made me wonder, are they going to take the game in the same direction, or is it going to be kind of like a Gran Turismo Sport? Is it going to be a full-fledged Forza? I don't know. There wasn't much said about it except for the opening screens that look gorgeous, and of course I love racing games, so I'll probably end up getting it. But I don't really know if it's a full-fledged game or if it's more along the lines of Gran Turismo Sport.
No, it's a full-fledged. It's a motorsport, but it's all new.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about I don't want to say campaign is the wrong word, but they're talking about a kind of a campaign style game, and they're also talking about rally racing in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That
So
would
they
be
must have
dope.
watched our show last week and watched my
Right.
retro. So
But
Awesome.
like Rare Mike, that Louise O'Connor, she got on and she was talking, and it was kind of nice to see some of the developers match the face with the company, or and talk
I
about
did
the
like
game
that.
a little bit. I did
that
like
too.
that. Other than that, I guess we'll wait and see and take on the Banished with Halo Infinite. Try out the grappling hook. Like I said, not bad. That's my take on it.
Yeah, the grappling hook didn't look annoying. Like like
Uh,
Doom.
yeah, we're gonna get into Halo in a minute or two. Trust me, because that's why I've been holding off on playing the gameplay trailer till we actually start talking about these big games. So,
I like the art style of the game that we just watched
as Dusk Falls.
last. Yeah,
Yeah,
That looked
So-
interesting.
looks very interesting.
yeah. I actually, so with Frankie coming up, I actually waited to hold off on the Gunk trailer because I want him. So, play that while he's talking. So, all right, Frankie, you're up.
All right, so it's been a while. What are we talking about? What's the order here?
What you thought of the show overall?
Uh-huh.
Did it sway you towards or against the Series X, or if you were already getting the Series X, doesn't even matter. And then favorite thing you saw, least favorite thing you saw.
Okay. So overall, I don't know how I feel about it because it was a lot of stuff that, like, there were a lot of just I can't, like, my brain's melted at this point. So it's a lot of just trailers that don't have any gameplay.
That's
So
not
for,
all
like,
that's melted.
The new Rare game, like I don't understand what that game is supposed to be. And there were a couple others too. Like it just, I don't know why we're at a point where it's like, okay, well, if you're comfortable enough to show and say this game's coming out next year, like, shouldn't there be a little more something to show than just a quick trailer, just kind of giving you no idea of what the game is? But I don't know. Overall, I thought the show was okay. There was, it was nice to see some of the stuff, especially later on. That the new game from Don't Nod, like you said, the Gunk. I love those guys. The SteamWorld games are awesome. SteamWorld Quest is fantastic. So, really happy to see them with their next game coming out. I'm assuming as a launch exclusive, right? Yeah, it looks like
yes, it is a console launch exclusive.
Yeah, so I know SteamWorld Quest is trapped on the Switch right now, and it's on Stadia too. But I want that game to come to an actual console. That's all I want. I just want to play SteamWorld on my Xbox and my PlayStation. But
Uh-oh. Frankie, what did you say?
No, I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat, the
I agree with you.
comments.
Frankie's funny.
Yeah, the chat.
Not really. Yeah, like John mentioned earlier, though, Remedy with that Crossfire X, I think that campaign looks like it's going to be awesome.
What's this game that's just shown? Is it Stalker or what?
Yeah, Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
At
yeah,
first, when I
Stalker
saw that Ferris wheel, I thought like about Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare. Remember?
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never played the first Stalker game. I hope they port that. But yeah, so I felt the back half of the show was really strong, and it's just, again, more so to me because I like indie games. I like, the smaller budget games. I feel like those more than deliver their value most of the time compared to the full price retail game nowadays. And Psychonauts 2, fuck you, John, but that game looks awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that thing is
Now
supposed
you know,
to be,
Mamacita,
that's not a next gen game. That's why it doesn't look like a next gen game, because it's not a next gen game. So I think that game looks like it's coming
I just don't
along.
look it because it looks gay. Sorry.
Wow.
has nothing to do with being next gen or not. I just didn't like the game.
Can you guys answer a question for me right quick? What does next gen mean when we say it
That's
doesn't
what
look
I don't get.
next gen? Like what does that look like? Because to me, graphics, looking at something is kind of like looking at a really nice looking guy. Okay, he's really fine. He's really hot. But then after you keep looking at him, his fineness, his hotness, is like,
Start finding all
okay.
his flaws.
Yeah, he's like, well, what else can he do? I'm like, can he cook? Can he take out the trash? Can he clean up? And for me, next gen is, yes, you look good, but what is going to be my experience while I'm playing? And what are game mechanics? What am I going to be able to do different while I'm playing this game than I can do last gen? For me, that's what.
Well, I agree with you, Mamacita. I mean, just because I say I don't like a game or something doesn't mean I don't think it looks next gen. It's just usually I can look at a game and I'll look at video footage or some and I can tell. I'm like, ooh, that's not me at all. And that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just my opinion, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I'm just to be clear, this wasn't, I wasn't singling you out, John. I was asking the generic question because I see it, on Twitter, and people are asking. I'm just asking. I'm not like saying whether it is or not. But what is next gen to you when you say this doesn't look next gen to me, or when everyone says, not you per se, John. When someone says this doesn't look next gen, what does that mean to you when you say that? What should a game look like for you to be convinced that this is next gen? Are we looking at this is supposed to run 4K 120? The graphics are supposed to protrude out of the screen and look real life? Or are we, or for me, are we expecting gameplay? Because to me, the games look great. And I know that there are some games that that could probably be a little more shinier and pop a little more, be a little more defined. But what are we expecting going into this new generation as far as game mechanics? Do we want to be able to do more in our role playing games rather than just swing a sword? And once I look at all the pretty trees and the green grass and the yellow flowers and the red roses, what am I going to be able to interact in this world that I couldn't do last gen? That's what I'm looking for in this generation. What can I do differently that I couldn't do last gen?
Have you noticed, Mamacita, that a lot of these games, my big gripe is like you're playing a role-playing game or an open-world game, and the main characters look awesome. The character but you look at the NPC, the non-player characters, and they're kind of bland and everything. So, so for me, with this new power and the beefed up CPUs, I would like to see more of that. Like the supporting characters look better, not just the main characters. They can do a lot more with these open-world games now, Should be able to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The next gen thing, I mean, where does it stop? 4K, 8K, 16K? Then you got to have a TV that can display it or monitors. So they could probably lie to half the people and tell you it's 4K 120 and you never know the difference.
And I see the indie games. He said immersion. and I'm assuming he's commenting on what we're saying. I felt immersed when I was on the 360 playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I felt so immersed in that game where I could look up and whatever I saw in view, I could go. I could swim in the water. I could venture out and get into a battle with the guards, and then out of the blue here comes a giant, and then we all run over and fight the giant together. That was so immersive, the feeling. Mind you, we could say the graphics of Skyrim is, could have, So as far as this generation, are we looking for the feel that I had in Elder Scrolls Skyrim with prettier graphics or a prettier screen? That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we actually looking for in next gen? Mike, when you say next gen, what do you mean? I know I'm not the host. I'm sorry. I'm asking questions like I'm the host.
I love this. This is great.
Mike's the one on the fence about,
we took over
Mike's
Frankie's
on the
part,
fence
though.
about getting a Series X, so
Well,
to
I'll
him,
answer.
he wants to see something that is, say, by a Series X. So what does that mean to Mike?
Yeah, so I want to get back to that, but I want Frankie to finish too, because we sort of ran all over his segment.
Sorry, Frankie.
Frankie, what was the
Sorry,
question?
Frankie.
Just you move on. It's
Here's what
fine.
Frankie thinks.
So,
Frankie, I'm sorry.
Well, we're sorry,
No, I'm
Frankie.
sorry.
but I love
still
that,
love indie
though.
games.
She's asking
bad.
questions. Like,
My
she
bad.
is
Talking
taking
about
over.
that
I love it.
gump-
I
gump,
love it.
That girl.
This is no. This is why we have you on.
Okay.
This is why because you talk that talk. You talk that Skyrim.
But I'm going to sip it. I'm going to sip it now.
No. So, all right, but real quick, well,
Sorry.
I know Frankie was getting an X too, so right, you're getting a Series X, aren't you?
Yeah, it's the only box I plan on buying right now.
Okay.
But that's because I don't like my One X is somebody else's property currently, so I'd rather just buy a new. Get the new Xbox because it's cheaper than just buying another one. Actually, it hit that point where it's like, well, I could just wait, for a couple months or just go buy one now. But I've since I came into this year wanting to do more backlog stuff. It's just sort of worked out better for now. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying though, I think Psychonauts is looking awesome. That's definitely like one of the games I was really happy to see. I wasn't expecting to see, actually, to be truthful. Like I Double Fine's been pretty radio silent about the development of that game for a while now, and it's looking excellent. Like, I don't know if, obviously, John, you've never played the original Psychonauts because you have shitty taste, but it's awesome. It really is. It's an excellent franchise.
Frank, that's not true.
You gotta take acid when you play that game.
Yeah.
You got to learn, Frank, on the podcast that it's okay to disagree. Once we get past that point, our relationship will blossom. It'll take a little maturing on your part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so
other than that,
That's
though,
a big following, so Frankie's right.
yeah,
So
it is like that game was got crowdfunded on what was that, Fig or whatever. So I mean,
Fig, yeah. I mean, it was a cult.
It pulled in more money than Shenmue 3 did, as far as I remember. But again, could be wrong, might be, but.
No, it is a cult.
I'm just really happy to see that game is progressing along nicely, and I cannot wait for that one to come out. The Medium, holy crap! Like Bloober Team they're slowly becoming like one of the best, makers of horror games out there. So like seeing this game in action, it's just so unsettling. Like watching her cut through like that stitching, and just like God. It was very unnerving. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I love their games, so looking forward to playing their next thing. So I don't know. I guess like my favorite thing shown, I guess, would be Psychonauts. There was a lot of good stuff though. But as far as like my least favorite, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna say Halo, because it just looks like another Halo game. Like nothing about it. Like watching the gameplay, it's like, okay, it's Halo. Like it doesn't look like anything has changed. It's the same. It looks like you're fighting the same enemies. I know Atriox is from Halo Wars 2. I'm sure he's from mainline Halo 2. I don't know. I've only played the first and fifth one, so. But I mean, just like even like aiming down sights seemed like it's still that awkward transition, and I don't know. I've never really been like a major Halo fan, so I heard he was coming into this just like, eh. But seeing it in action though, and seeing that it's still, it's Halo, it's just not good enough for me to be excited about it. But as far as like this thing selling me, like if I wasn't already buying a Series X because I want to have another Xbox in here, I don't know what in here would have sold me on buying one day one. Just like I said, because even with Halo, I have Game Pass, I have an Xbox One X. I could go play the game if I really wanted to on that and be content. But I don't know. But otherwise, like I said, that indie reel that you were playing earlier, that was in the pre-show, I guess.
Mhm.
Like almost everything in there looks awesome. I can't wait for a lot of those. I know a lot of those are cross-gen, but a lot of really, really good indie games are in that reel.
No, there were. That 12 seconds is one of my I got my eye on.
I could be wrong, but I think that's a Curve Digital joint, so it's going to be good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for me, so the reason I brought up at the beginning, looking at this in multiple ways, is because that's how I how I approached it once I got to look at it again. I gave myself the benefit of not being able to concentrate during work, and that's a whole other issue. Is that this should not have been, a Thursday at 9 a.m. Western, West Coast, 12 p.m. East Coast, when most of us had to work, so I couldn't concentrate on it like I wanted to, like if it was on, regular E3 Sunday afternoon, or even if it was like 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Would have been awesome, 7 o'clock, and then we go right into the show. And so I had to watch it a second time, and I started to think to myself, there's two ways for me to look at it. The fact that every single game that I saw is playable, is going to be in Game Pass, that in and of itself, for me, is a winner. There's no, you can't, there's no bad thing about that. I mean, even if you're not into it, and I got to introduce John to Noof, because I know Noof Nukem is also a guy who really doesn't like subscriptions and stuff like that. So I got to introduce these guys. They'd get along great. But for me, who has Game Pass, I mean, this is just a win-win. I get to play Everwild. I get to play I might get to play Forza. I don't know if it's really going to be, whatever. I'm going to get to play Halo. I'm going to get to play Grounded. I'm going to get to play all of these games. And so, that can stave me until I'm ready to get the Series X. Now as a show goes, if I, grading this on a show, I'm in that 8. Pacing was great. There wasn't a lot of talk. There was games, and there's a lot of games. Something that I thought afterwards was, and by the way, no offense, MamaCita, but when I'm elected president, I am outlawing the word bangers. That word. Everybody uses that word. I hate that word so much. I know you did.
I was only repeating what I saw on Twitter. I was repeating
Right.
What folks say. Where are the bangers?
The
It's
bangers.
been great so far.
There is something. It doesn't matter. There are multiple games in here that I looked at and said, all right, I could play this. Obviously, Fable is one that I'm interested in, especially after the death of our beloved Fable Legends Mama. But I mean, Halo is Halo, and I'm going to segue into Halo for a minute, because what I saw, what I read about on Halo today didn't make sense to me. In some of the the criticism of what they saw, and and I'm gonna get us into that because I think it's a worthy thing to talk about. But the medium looks really interesting, although that one I won't get to play right away. But I was the Gunk, Stalker 2, Warhammer, Darktide.
That's the Vermintide dudes, ain't it?
Yeah.
Fat Shark?
It is. It's Fat Shark. Yeah, it's the Vermintide. And we played. Peter, you and I played Vermintide a few
Yeah, 1 and
times.
2.
Liked it. Yeah. Grounded. That Grounded looks actually fun. I want to bring the Grounded trailer up after this because I thought the Grounded trailer was great. I thought the humor in that was hilarious. I don't know if you guys actually watched it with the sound on, but it was really funny how they set that up to the point to where the guys at CD Projekt Red tweeted through the Cyberpunk Twitter feed, "Hey, we see you, Grounded." It was really good. Psychonauts 2. I played Psychonauts, so I'm very interested in Psychonauts 2. Balan Wonderworld. That's Yuji Naka. I mean, that's the father of Sonic and Knights, and the game looks like almost a spiritual successor to Knights into Dreams. Now I know that is it's cross-gen, cross-platform, or cross multi-plat, but it's gonna be on Game Pass, which means I'm gonna get to play it. There was something in here for me. There's something in here for my son Seth, who is a Hello Neighbor fanatic, and all he heard, like, he didn't even get a chance to. All he heard was Hello Neighbor 2, and he came running. Those are games that I am very much waiting on. Let me bring up. I'm going to bring up and I'm going to show. I'll play it with the sound in case you guys hadn't heard it. But from a game standpoint, I don't know how you could be disappointed in what you see. There was something for everyone. If you didn't like Halo, Frankie didn't like Halo, but he had Psychonauts and he had the entire ID at Xbox reel. Peter didn't like Psychonauts, but he had 4 or 5 other games. John didn't like the certain game here, the Gunk, but he found 4 or 5 other games. MamaCita found 4 or 5 games that she that truly interested her. Everybody was able to find something that they could look at and go, that's a game that I want. And that's the point. This wasn't, for me, they didn't call it the Xbox Series X Game Showcase. They called it the Xbox Game Showcase. And that's how I looked at it after I digested it the first time and went looking the second time. And that's how I'm looking at it. Grounded looks fun, and I'm going to get to play it. Here's the trailer, though, by the way, just the beginning. Just really funny. If it'll play. Play trailer. Yeah, trailer. Hello, trailer.
Maybe.
All right, I might have to re-download it. But it was really funny. He said, the beginning of the trailer, for those of you who didn't see it, it came on and it said, the announcer said, if you're looking for the biggest game of 2020, get ready for, and it shows the Cyberpunk 2077 logo, Cyberpunk 2077. But if you're just looking for a smaller game with big worlds and blah, 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 then it went on, and it showed like a picture, like something from Battletoads. I mean, I thought it was a really well done trailer, and I'll try to grab it again. Yeah, it looks like it didn't grab like I wanted it to, so I'll grab it again and we'll show it later. But I mean, Grounded, and even after playing the demo, Grounded looked really cool to me. So, that's how I looked at it. Did this drive me, because you guys all know that I'm not day one any of these consoles. I'm a day one Amigo guy. I'm not a day one PlayStation, not a day one Xbox guy. Did this push me in that direction? No. Honestly, no. Because, A, I'm going to get to play most of these on my One X, which is going to look spectacular. But, they not grabbed me yet. With enough of those kind of games that make me go, okay, I can only play these on the Series X. Favorite game of mine that I saw, I liked a lot of the games that, Halo is Halo. The State of Decay 3 looks really, really awesome. Balan Wonderworld, like I said, I'm going to bring that trailer up again. Just because, for those of you who know anything about the Saturn and know anything about Yuji Naka, this game just simply looks like Nights into Dreams. So, I'm jumping at this. Least favorite, I don't know that I've got it with Chris. I don't know that I had a really least favorite. Everything looks, fine. Nothing.
I would say there was one disappointment though.
Lack of Hellblade 2.
More on Hellblade 2.
Yeah, lack of Hellblade 2.
I was hoping to see a new trailer at least.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, they're probably still busy.
Yeah.
But
but I was also, I know we didn't see everything from every developer, but not seeing at least like Compulsion, who was, who they had already finished No Man's Sky. I'm sorry, they had already finished We Happy Few when they were acquired. So they've had a couple of years to get into development of something. Still not hearing anything from the initiative.
Do you think we can still, they're holding it back in case Sony shows something and they have to react?
Yeah, and I wonder if that's
talk, but that might be planned anyways for the August.
I don't
later.
think the initiative has a game ready at all.
Yeah.
Not ready, but they have something that was playable that Phil was there.
Yeah, we've seen it on two occasions.
Yeah.
Phil was down there and then took a picture with him with a controller in his hands, and so.
Let me ask you this.
I think they're holding it for next show.
Let me. So. I want to answer MamaCita's question she asked earlier. That she asked of me. What do I feel is next gen? I don't necessarily also put it into graphics necessarily. Next gen has got to be something that almost grabs me and pulls me into the screen. MamaCita, when you were talking about Skyrim, right? You talked about it like you were in that suit of armor.
Because I was.
Right. And that's what I need. For me to go, okay, I gotta go tell my wife, sorry babe, I'm spending $600 on a new Xbox and I'll sleep on the couch for a while. Something's got to reach out and grab me by the lapels of my shirt and pull me into the screen. And I haven't had a game do that in a while. And I don't know, when that's gonna be. Again, knowing that I can play a lot of what I saw today on my Xbox One X, which a lot of those games are going to be 4K, I can't, it's hard for me to justify the leap, and that's where next gen grabs me. It's got to be something that just makes me feel like I'm part of the game. And I don't know, I don't know if I'm explaining it well enough, but that's, it's where I'm at.
Yeah, but but that's okay because, like you said earlier, this was not called Xbox Series X Showcase.
Exactly.
This was called Xbox Showcase of just games.
Right.
And a lot of these games are cross-gen. Now, the ones that they did show that didn't show Xbox One at the bottom, now those are going to be the next-gen games that might pull you, like Hellblade 2, Fable, maybe Forza Motorsport, and then whatever else they show maybe next year.
Yeah. It might be.
It's all about cross-gen right now.
It might be Microsoft Flight Simulator as another one, because coming out on out on PC. I got a feeling now that's not making it to the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they know that. They know there are people like you that are not ready to jump ship, and maybe in a year or two, then they'll be able to show you something that you can say, yeah, that's next gen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's like someone said in the deal, like for me, next gen is more than just graphics. It's, what else can I do that I can't do on this gen as far as mechanics or some features? Like I know on Medium, they were trying to show a little bit more like, where you can be in two places at the same time without loading, having to do that was cool. They tried to show a little bit of that, like this is what the Series X can do that the Xbox One can't. So I don't think, and that game's not coming out Xbox One, right?
Correct. The Medium is.
There's that one other one, the Scorn.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's only going to be on Series X, and so when they're ready to show gameplay on that, maybe they can show why.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's no reason for anybody to have to be forced to jump on because the Xbox is about selling software. It's about engagement right now. It's about
selling their subscriptions,
especially Halo Infinite. Let's say, the first year for Series X, they sell about 5 to 7, maybe 10 million. Who knows? In the first year, okay, you're gonna have 10 million people playing Halo Infinite on the Series X, but you also want that maybe 40 plus million people that are still on Xbox One that are they're able to play on the Series X. So it's just about be able to reach more gamers and make more money.
Yep. And one other thing that I give Microsoft credit for that I don't think Sony did. Microsoft has always been very quick to say, console launch exclusive. Like they telegraphed the fact that a lot of what they showed today were timed exclusives.
But they're not calling that. They're calling it console launch exclusive.
Right, but at least they're calling it that. So you're not guessing which games are coming to other platforms. I do give them a lot of respect for being upfront about that. So,
true. But then on the other hand, it's all so it has to do with the console warring jazz.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Talking about my plastic, your plastic, instead of talking about the game that's like awesome.
Right. So, MamaCita, I think you had a second question that I didn't answer. So you asked me what about next gen.
No, I think you answered it. I was just asking what did you consider, what was next gen for you?
Gotcha.
How would you define that?
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about a couple of games here then that the ones that obviously are going to be the big mark for for Microsoft going forward, and of course Halo's the big one. Somebody, could the game that we're looking at right now, is this going to look this good on the Xbox One X? I'm thinking it will. Does that make this not worthy of being a spotlight of the Series X? No, of course not. And I think, John said something that I think is tantamount to this whole thing, and that we talk about graphics, we talk about as that's supposed to be the benchmark, and to be fair, that's why they're selling these upper end consoles, is because they're trying to make these things look better than previous generations. Anybody who I know the pictures have been floating around Twitter. You get the right camera shot, on a vertical slice demo, and you go, oh, it looks like a 360 game. This does not look like a 360 game. Not even close. This is, this is 720p, and it looks sharper than anything I've seen in Halo before. And yes, you're right. It looks like Halo. It looks like an old school Halo game. But that's what they're going for. And
that's another thing that they said. Like, oh, it looks too much like the first one.
Well, it's supposed to.
And that's right. And that's what people wanted. So
right.
Now
exactly.
that it does, it's like it's the same.
Right.
That was the biggest criticism. Was not enough Master Chief, not enough Halo. What people were used to.
People did this crap where Halo was too much. Halo was too different when they did running and clambering, and then Gears was too much like Gears. Well, now all of a sudden, this is too much like Halo. Well, first off, what I read earlier from the USA Today article was that it's not a reboot, but it's a continuation of the Master Chief story, but paying tribute to Combat Evolved, which was the first game. It is what we want. We want Halo. We want this to be the Halo that we remember. And I think if you drastically change the graphical style, because remember, a lot of this is art style. If you start changing this into some gritty Gears of War, kind of look and feel, or some kind of Call of Duty first-person shooter look and all that stuff, you lose what Halo is. What more do people actually want from it? And that's the question. And if you guys look to be, if you guys want more from it, I'm good with that. I'm just making the point that Halo is Halo for a reason, and you start mucking with the look of Halo, and it's not Halo anymore. And that's, I think, where I think some of the criticism this afternoon got lost in the shuffle.
Well, Mike, going back, I was a big Halo fan, but back in the day, Halo 3 was probably the best multiplayer I ever played. That and Reach. Halo 3 was, me and my friends, we get online, we play. We played a ton of hours in Halo 3. Toward the end of the Halo Reach life cycle, that's when 343 got involved in it, and they started making some changes to the multiplayer. Of course, I've played all the other Halos, Halo 5, Halo 6. But as long as they recapture, I like the older, there was a pacing that Halo used to have, and it wasn't about power-ups. There was a pacing that the Spartans had. When you were facing off with one, it wasn't about gimmicks. It wasn't about, super speed, sprint. There was a certain pacing. It was just one-on-one, that Spartan versus Spartan, and that's what I loved about the game. And not to say anything bad about 343, but when they took over, they kind of lost that. And even the multiplayer, like in Halo 5 and 6, you got these little small arena, almost more like Call of Duty
Where
style.
Where the fuck are you playing Halo 6?
Right.
He meant 5. I know what he meant. He meant 5.
I meant 5.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got these small arena style maps, and the whole mechanics of the guns and everything changed for me. And as a big Halo fan, I liked the way it played a long time ago. And I know things have to move forward in things, but there was a certain feel and pacing to the game. If they can recapture that, I would be very excited. So for me, it's not just about the graphics, man. I want that old Halo gameplay, and I hate to say that, but I like the Bungie Halo. I want that Halo back.
Then play Destiny.
Well, that's Destiny's not Halo,
that's,
though.
yeah.
That's not Halo. That's the whole different. I want my old Bungie Halo back. That style of, if they can get that back, that's what I would like, because they've definitely changed the mechanics in the game.
No, and that was a lot of people's complaint about 5 was that the cambering and all that stuff was over the top. I was a campaign guy in Halo. Like I stopped playing multiplayer Halo at 3, believe it or not. I typed something I was saying out loud. Sorry, Jay. I meant to say
people go a little, 343. It's not easy for them to try to fill in for Bungie. Bungie set the bar. Halo 1, 2, and 3 Reach and ODST. I mean, it's very hard to try to please everybody when at the same time you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to, what they did with 4 and 5, they added a couple things here and there. I love the campaign in 4. 5 mechanically, the feel, the look, everything was great. But it was just very repetitive. The story just wasn't, all that great, but I still had fun playing it. And as far as multiplayer, I played a little bit of it in both 4 and 5, and I thought it was good. There were a lot of people. As far as the multiplayer, nobody really. I think a lot of people liked the multiplayer when it came to 4 and 5. It's just the big thing with 5 was the campaign story.
Well, 5
so it looks like they're trying to go capture that.
5 started strong in the multiplayer, and then big team battle and all that, but it floundered. It lost a lot of steam. I think a lot of the Halo Rex.
Still had some. Yeah,
I never liked the rec cards, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm just
a lot of people
honest.
complain about the Rex.
It kind of made it. It's kind of like the cards in Forza, because I mean, I'm a big racing guy, man, and I love Forza, but man, you start adding these little cards, give you extra grip, and put you in first place at the start of the race.
Yeah,
it gives you. I mean, it just starts feeling more like a carnival type.
Well, I mean, everybody was doing it.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things that everybody does it. Let's try it.
Right.
Those things are going away. So
yeah,
there was nothing better, Chris, than when you saw like in Halo 3, you're playing multiplayer and you see that enemy Spartan running towards you, and you're both running and you kind of jump up in the air. There's no, it's even one-on-one. It's just
especially when you teabag each other.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you know what's really funny, John? You and I talked about this when you were on the first time. Remember the Halo calculator?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about
the big Halo, yeah.
The big Halo calculator. We talked about the Rex then, and what happened was Bungie saw, 343 saw dollar signs. They sold a ton of Rex. Like they made like somewhere around the $500 million off of rec cards.
Yeah.
Just
but
in
I didn't
rec
think it was
cards.
pay to win. Did y'all? I don't think.
I didn't think it was pay to win, Chris, but it did change the.
Yeah, it was.
If you went in there and saved your points, or you bought rec cards, you could wait to that precise moments, and then you could get all these special cards all at once, and then go out there and defeat the other team.
Maybe, but I mean, if you ain't good, you ain't good, no matter what.
No, there is some of that. There's some of that, but there was those rec cards did give you an advantage. There was a. You're right. You still have to aim. You still have to shoot. But you ended up with weapons that didn't take so much aim than your opponent. I mean, there was.
You take a team of good guys, Mike, and you give them rec cards, and it's really unfair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then the other problem with
I
big
didn't see
team,
that complaint.
Oh,
out.
Yeah,
I didn't see that big of a complaint on.
I did.
Halo
We a lot of there were a few of us that played that really stopped playing against certain groups that we saw because of that, because we knew they were, there's just no way. And then we had the other issue that we had with Big Team Battle was Big Team Battle had things you needed to do, had objectives. But we'd get teamed up with guys that just all they did was just go, just play it like it was deathmatch, and and we couldn't get anywhere with the objectives because half our team was off just
any multiplayer, really.
Well, I know, but it caused some of us to stop playing it. That's just unfortunately how it is. So
I remember playing
get good,
Warzone
get
with you
good.
a couple times, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we tried. I
But
mean, you
here's
tried
another
to
thing,
enjoy
ranked-
it.
Like, remember the whole thing, years ago when they're talking about like true ranking and other stuff,
I remember
That
that.
never took.
It never happened.
That
What was that
never
called? What
happened.
was that called? It was supposed to be. What was
Oh,
that had a name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It lasted for so many days, then reset, didn't it? It wasn't.
No,
Was
this
that not?
It was. It's just a very. Yeah.
That was in Halo 3, wasn't it?
No, it was not.
No.
It's not any Halo
It
specific.
was like True something.
Yeah.
True
True skill. I don't
something
know.
like that. I remember what it was. It was supposed to come out with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of it was. Smart Match.
Smart match.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where it paired you up with like members who had similar skill
True,
sets.
here we go.
or-
Yeah,
Yeah.
True Skill. True Skill only takes the player's skill into account when creating matches. It was called the True Skill ranking system.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
never
that
happened.
didn't work. That
No.
put you in with guys who were ranked way higher and all kind. Yeah, it did.
No.
Yeah, and it's like.
All right, jump in here, MamaCita.
Oh, I'm just really listening to what you guys. Yeah, I mean,
Part
I'm
of-
really.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
You
go
don't
ahead,
play
because
Halo?
I do. I played a little of the Master Chief Collection, and I did play the campaign in Halo 5 and a little bit of Warzone. But I'm not a big Halo fan. It's all right, but I'm not. So I don't even feel like I can really comment a whole lot on what you guys. What I will say is I do notice those that are true Halo fans. I see a difference in the critiquing of it, whether it's positive or negatively, versus those that you can tell aren't really Halo fans. They're just hating on it, just to be hating on it, versus those that actually play the game, like John is being really descriptive on what he really liked about it and what he didn't, versus just to say, I don't like Halo. And I do wonder what is 343 supposed to really do with Halo? Should they evolve it? Should they pull a God of War with it? And then you deal with folks that say, well, this isn't Halo, as you all have kind of discussed before, or do you try to bring it back true to form? And it looks like that's what they've tried to do based on what I've seen and what I'm hearing from actual Halo fans. And so, I don't know. I kind of think it's a catch-22. When you have a franchise as big as Halo, whereas back in the day, MSNBC and NBC used to actually broadcast the release of Halo. That used to be on the news channels. I don't know what other game up to date. I mean, you guys may think of any that actually gets broadcast television network status when a game is actually released. And I remember Halo was so big that the news channels on broadcast TV would broadcast the fans standing in line for the new Halo game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
But you know what made Halo good, MamaCita? It's kind of like the Jedis in Star Wars. The Jedis, when they go to battle, there's an elegance with their lightsabers. And that's what the old Halo had. It wasn't overcomplicated. And it was that, like I said, that one-on-one warrior feel. It didn't have a lot of gimmicky things thrown at it. Like I said, if they could recapture that, man, that's something I long for, and I haven't had that since Halo 3 and Halo Reach. It's changed. Like as far as the multiplayer, the campaigns have been pretty good. They look phenomenal. I mean, of course, I have certain favorites throughout the Halo, line of games, but the multiplayer after you play it, that's what a lot of people that creates that longevity of the game, and that's what they remember. And for me, Halo 3 and Halo Reach, the last games that I truly enjoyed the multiplayer. I played the others a little bit, but it just didn't have the same feel. If they can get it back, man, I'd be all on board, 100%.
Yeah. But perhaps, because I do know at the end of the conference, they did say that this wasn't, they had more to come, I guess, towards the later in the year. So I don't, and I did hear them say that Halo's multiplayer, they'll have more to show on that at some point.
Right.
So I don't know, perhaps that'll answer a number of folks' questions that are still on the fence about it.
Yeah, you always had those two camps, like Mike and myself. I'm more about the campaign nowadays. And then, of course, Supersonic in the chat was, he wanted to see multiplayer, but, they just didn't. I don't think they didn't have enough time for that. And, remember last E3, Gears 5 got criticized because they showed too much multiplayer and not enough any campaign. And then here we are with Halo, showed too much campaign, and where's the multiplayer? So you can't please everybody. But
Exactly.
That stuff that'll come. They should definitely show it. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a dedicated. Maybe they try, do 15, 20 minutes just showing off multiplayer and such.
I'm happy
Before
to
launch.
I'm happy to see the campaign mode myself.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you got to give these companies a chance too. Even both Microsoft, Sony, even Nintendo, if they come out with a new console, yeah, we're all picky. We're looking for the graphics, but sometimes it takes a year or two for them to kind of get into the system and kind of work out, the little tweaking here and there, So, not necessarily don't judge all the games right from the very beginning either,
Yeah, very true. No, that's
And it's like
very
indie
true point.
gamers asking, does it look washed out? But it's, this one, it's being, like we all saw it in 1080p 60, and plus it says demo.
Well,
And
I grabbed.
from what I'm understanding, they
I
weren't
grabbed
ready
the
to show
after
ray
demo.
tracing yet.
Yeah, I grabbed the.
This
I grabbed
demo
the
is
4K.
not from, they didn't put it together like yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
No, they
No?
didn't put
No.
it
I mean, to get a demo, when it says demo, I believe it's a true demo. I mean, that's been put together like, quite some time ago, too.
Did anybody watch the show, the 4K 60 version?
I
Yes.
haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched the videos. Not
Yeah, I
the
watched
Some
show
people said
itself.
they saw a
Just-
difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked much better.
Yes, it does. The entire show just looks
And also,
different.
like once you have like HDR on and other
Yes, colors pop a lot more.
stuff. Right.
A lot more clarity, crispier, smoother.
Hey, what's the game? I read somewhere that HDR was not like day one. That would come later, and now I forgot what game it was. So one
Was
of
it
the
a-
games that's being shown.
One of the games here? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know which one.
No. All right. So let's because it's 11 o'clock. I don't want to.
Oh, Halo won't have ray tracing. That's
Right.
what the indie gamer said. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what I read too.
So, since MamaCita brought up Skyrim earlier, I am curious if that puts you in the mood, milady, for Avowed, that
Oh,
upcoming Obsidian game.
Yes, most definitely. It most definitely does. And I do think there was a variety of games that were shown. I mean, Rare, Obsidian. I just think that when I saw Avowed initially, I was thinking, okay, what is this? I was like, okay, is this every game that when I saw world premiere or Xbox Game Studios, is this Fable? Okay, but then it wasn't.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that game has piqued my curiosity. It's a role-playing game. Of course, I'm thinking all kinds of okay, so now how deep of a role playing game is this going to be from managing my inventory? Am I going to be
Yeah.
able to apply charms? And am I going to be able to throw fireballs? Am I going to be able to lift, elevate a character? What am I going to be able to do with this? So, yeah, but it has piqued my interest um, greatly.
Okay. Anybody else on Avowed?
Definitely gonna play it when I can.
Okay.
I'm curious how deep it is. I never finished Skyrim because that game is like took forever, and then I don't know, something else came along and I got distracted. And then once you're out of that world, it's really hard to get back in, and remembering what all the controls are, and where you have your your stash stored, and where you have your wife and all this stuff.
Peter, you took an arrow to the knee.
Exactly. That's probably more than one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's
But
see
then
what
thinking
else.
about, I think I mentioned that in the in a Discord, like the 360 arrow was too short. I see like Des playing PGR and stuff. It's like, oh,
I know. And it's funny because
so
you
many
say
good games.
you say it was too short, but it was 10 years.
Yeah, we've gone another at least 5.
So another game so you're concentrating on the games that Microsoft was showing in house. So Frankie, was it you that brought up Everwild? Who brought up Everwild?
Yeah, I think
The game
I
from
said
Rare.
It looks good. Yeah, I did.
So, I know. Frankie was asking what this game was going to be.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was. And it's a good question.
You have to bring a deer back to life.
Right.
Animals are getting sick.
I like
Yeah.
the art style in this one. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one. They talked about magic and exploring, and you got to I guess befriend, have animals help you with stuff. I don't know, but is there a villain in this game? I didn't see anything.
Well, definitely
Yeah.
something dark.
Right.
And
You
they
don't
talked
know what
about
it
that,
is.
but yeah. And for a second there, almost when they show the 4 players, and they seem like maybe they each have their own skill
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and I guess maybe this would be a co-op multiplayer game. It almost felt like could this be like kind of like a Destiny, an open share world, and people come together and they go explore and whatever there is. So curious.
And it doesn't say much. They don't talk about what this game is going to be just yet. But it would be neat if it is some sort of maybe not an MMO, but some sort of multiplayer. And obviously they've got the
Bambi is
pedigree of,
alive.
yes, they've got the pedigree of doing a small multiplayer game like this with Sea of Thieves. So it's
Yeah.
Indie Gamer said Craig Duncan says they're still working out the gameplay. Slightly concerning. LOL.
It's still early though.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't expect this game out till maybe next year, fall
Right.
or early 22.
Man, I love turn-based games, man. That'd be almost cool if they could make that a
Turn-based? I hate turn-based games.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah. I don't have time to wait.
Depends on the game. I don't think that is.
It'd be funny if State of Decay 3 was turn-based.
No.
Ooh. So wait a minute. So talk to me about State of Decay 3, guys. I know Chris, and I got a little reaction from MamaCita. Talk to me about State of Decay, MamaCita.
Well, I don't want it to be turn-based.
Well, no. I was
Please,
just
no,
kidding.
no,
I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me say it this way. I was really excited for State of of Decay 2. I played a little bit and then I kind of lost my excitement. I don't know, it for me to say it was too grindy is really saying a lot because I like grinding games. I really do. But it was just too, I was trying to maintain my home base and I was not killing off folk, but then I go out at night and drive around. I'm trying to go over here and kill the blood infestations over here and then come back and then people are dead or I don't have enough food. I don't have enough medicine. And I just got like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And so I even though I've been told, try to get MamaCita to come back in, let's team up and let's try to revisit this. But when I saw the trailer for State of Decay 3, I think visually I was caught. It kind of captivated me visually, and then I saw, because I could see the details, and I'm like, okay, this is a CGI, and I know that, but I'm like, if they could incorporate the way this game looks on the screen, and then looking at the world, I'm looking at this snowy landscape, I'm looking at this deer turn, and he's growling. I'm thinking, okay, now this looks like something I could actually immerse myself in and maybe deal with wanting to do the grinding, because I just wasn't interested in going out into the State of Decay 2's world. I just didn't care about driving. I was like, you know what? This is just so, no, I don't want to do it. I did not care about the world or the environment. State of Decay 3 has the potential to make me care based on what I saw in the trailer. And if that translates over into actual gameplay, then I think we may have something a little different and special with State of Decay 3. Look at that. Look at girlfriend. Girlfriend, look. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah,
I know that looks so good.
Yes.
It's like,
Now,
hey.
State of Decay 2, they were doing mocapping. I think they got our buddy who came on with this, Rukil, Ruzico. They did mocap, put his face in the game, and 2.
Okay.
This looks like an actress. I'm trying to picture her.
Yeah, she does look familiar.
I've seen her in a TV show or a movie. So
You've got it.
this could be an indication of maybe they might have a more of a focus on maybe one person, and I'm sure they're still going to have the having to take care of your base and all that and go out and survive, to do what you got to do to survive. But who knows? We might get more of a single player campaign type deal, and then once you're done with that, then it's like, all right, go out there and take care of your base or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as
I
the
was
DS
thinking one
I'm
season.
sorry, go ahead.
I like the whole grinding, and getting my base to the point where everybody's good to go. All right, we're done with this area. Now it's time to move on to another area, and I always thought it was fun to just find a new base and start over. So
The video almost has more of a Tomb Raider type, the recent games type of feel.
it did look that way
kinda-
when it first
Yeah,
started. Yeah.
it does. It does.
I'm sorry, MamaCita, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, every time I came back to my base, somebody was sick,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I'm like, I would
It's-
go, okay, I've got to make medicine. Okay, I've got to, and I was like, okay.
They made you work.
They
did a
really
lot of
do,
work.
and I don't. But the thing is, I don't mind working. I do not mind the grind. I guess I didn't care about wanting to go out into the environment. I just did not care after a while. It just lost me.
Grinding with a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, okay, I'm just going to run out and kill all the zombies and then come back and somebody's going to be sick or someone may be dead. And then, I don't know. Then somebody's attacking me. I'm like, why are you attacking me? Didn't we just make a covenant? Didn't we just make an agreement? I thought I would get attacked. And then I was like, oh, no.
You gotta have that drama, like in Walking Dead. You gotta have that drama.
Yeah. I was like, give me a break. But I don't know. Maybe State of Decay 3 will build upon that and make it just a little more interesting for me. I'm hopeful looking at it.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I'm glad that they showed something. So we'll see. They got that money now. Got that budget. And see what they
No.
really wanted to do with it. So
Now they set expectations, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
well, I mean, they, the studio's grown, so
They have that Microsoft money now.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, of course the expectation is going to be there. Third one's got to be better than 1 and 2. So
Right,
We'll
but I
see.
mean, when you see this, it's like, man, this looks like,
Yeah.
high production value.
That deer
Yeah.
is scary.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
well, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, hopefully they know you can't show something like this, and the game is just a little step up from the second one.
Right.
It's gonna have to be more.
It
Yeah.
has to be kind of what you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see what Daz said? He said Mike's walls now look like mustard.
So Daz is getting more tired.
It's
And,
grapefruit pond, sir. It's
Oh,
not
that's
mustard.
awesome.
Ay.
Uh,
All right. So one more thing that I saw that let's talk about Destiny 2 for a moment. So something
Destiny.
interesting, yeah, which is not my cup of tea, and certainly I agree is not Halo. Although I always make the joke that Bungie wanted to leave Microsoft to go make something other than Halo, so they left Microsoft and went off to Activision to make Halo. Destiny 1 was Halo. It just was. Destiny 2 I haven't played. I can't speak to it. But what I find interesting is as soon as they leave Activision, they seem to be back in Microsoft's good graces, because Destiny 2 and all of its expansions, including this new one, it's Beyond Light. This new one, Beyond Light, is all going to be in Game Pass. The whole freaking thing is going to be in Game Pass. That's, I know a lot of people that play Destiny 2. This is kind of big news.
And it could bring people back, because I played Destiny. I got it to level 30 something, and I haven't played since. So being in Game Pass and seeing now I can get some of this DLC because I have an Ultimate Game Pass. I'm like, okay, let me go check it out.
Because Destiny 2 is now free, right? Free to play, the base game.
Free to play.
Yeah, it is.
But now you get all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I
in Game
know. That's
Pass.
cool.
That's a good get for Xbox and building that relationship again with
Mhm.
Bungie.
Yep.
And that's good news for the next game that Bungie does.
God, man, I like too many genres, man. It's always a challenge because you got games like Destiny. I
Yeah.
got my MLB The Show. I like sports games. I like shooters, everything, and I just don't have enough time. Like, I would love to be able to invest like 1,000, 1,200 hours like I did back in Halo back in the day. And multi-bit, it's tough, especially trying to get around and experience all these different games.
Well, that's why that's why I mainly just play the campaign.
Really
like on
tough.
this
Yeah.
one, I played the campaign, and me and HDK and Nate and
Coop.
Coop will go out there and grind and get level up, and we all got to the point where okay, we're done. We played a little bit of multiplayer and we had fun, but that was it.
But also based, John, what you just said, there's not enough time, and that's why I don't like those service games that keep on going on and on, season after season or year after year. It's like, it's
Right.
It's tough, man.
it's just not enough time.
It's like my MLB The Show. You guys know I love my baseball, man. I play it every year, but But it's a small side. The game's so great, but even that, there's always games that come out like between March and April. And I'm like, and I'm trying to go for that platinum, and you've got to play hundreds of baseball games and do all this. So it's like, but I can't help it. There's a few games I could make except, but some of these shooters back in the day, I mean, we used to God, I'd come home from work and I'd play Halo 4 or 5 hours. Then I'd go to sleep. I'd go to work. I'd come home. I'd play Halo for 4 or 5 hours. That's all I did was play Halo especially Reach.
Halo, Call of Duty back in the day, early days.
Oh, yeah. Everybody played. I mean, they used to have millions. You get
Rainbow
on.
Six Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, put a lot of time in there with friends,
Oh, yeah. You could even scan faces and put faces, that was.
Yeah. But Destiny... Destiny's a beautiful game, and Bungie, the mechanic gameplay is second to none.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
encourage
is.
everybody, especially if it's gonna be in Game Pass and you haven't tried it, go play the. You don't really have to play the first one because the first one didn't really give, it kind of introduce you to a little bit of backstory and what's going on, but the second one definitely gives you that campaign, and the open world is a little bit more immersive. And it's just beautiful. The gameplay, the gunplay, and being able to change your character with the outfits and stuff like that and level up. It's a good looking game.
How many of you guys shot inside those caves for engrams, like in the first Destiny?
Yeah, I did. That glitch,
Those
yeah.
farming
I got
locations?
We
that
would
before they
shoot
got rid
for
of that.
5 or 6 hours on a Saturday, getting all those exotic engrams. And my wife would walk by. She's like, "What are you doing shooting in that cave?" I said, "Everybody's doing it."
Well,
Until they patched it.
if everybody threw lawn
Yeah.
darts in the air, would
Yeah.
you do it too?
Hell yeah. Even like GTA 6, when they had that glitch where you can go into the auto body shop and, there's a certain way to sit there and make some money and keep selling the same car over and over. I did it because I don't care because I ain't
Right.
buying those sharks. So,
Yeah.
they made their money even though I did that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
What else we got? What other? So let's pick one or one more game that really stuck out at everybody. That you guys are really all interested in. Crossfire X, the Medium, Warhammer.
Nobody mentioned
Crossfire X looks good too.
Tetris
The
Effect.
campaign. Yeah.
It's already out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's just coming out on
Sorry,
Game Pass.
Frankie.
Well, it's just a multiplayer, right?
I didn't even
Yeah,
know
it's just a
about it.
multiplayer.
Yeah, but it looked cool though. I mean, that's something I could play with my wife, my girls. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about it, but Frankie knew about it, and he didn't tell me about it. So
I mean, it's
Frankie.
Tetris, right?
It is
Yeah.
Tetris.
No.
Tetris. Yep.
I mean,
I think it's the people that made Res Infinite, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Because Resident Infinite was a damn good game.
I mean, the best Tetris was on the Game Boy.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
never had a Game Boy, but I've played a ton of it on it.
Frankie, did you notice that game As Dusk Falls? It's set in the Southwest. I wasn't really digging that. Did you see that, or what were your thoughts? Did you
Yeah.
see that one?
Yeah,
what
that's
did you
that.
think?
It seems interesting. I like the
I-
art style.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it out. It seemed kind of had like a little.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a narrative-driven story game.
Yeah.
Not really sure how the gameplay is going to factor in. It just seemed like that was just cutscenes for how the game's going to look. But I don't know. I'm interested in it. I like stuff like that. So,
I thought Echo Generation looked
dude, yeah, Echo Generation and what's that other one that was on the pre-show? I just saw these. Echo Generation looks awesome.
great. Well, they showed it during the main show too.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah.
See
It was during where they were showing a bunch of quick games that
Here.
are console launches.
Exo Mecha. That was the other one.
Exomecha.
Exomecha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's that Echo
That was
Generation.
Godfall's.
Yeah. That looks cute.
Yeah, it's turn-based. Peter, you're gonna hate it.
That's the answer to Godfall.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
right.
more like-
Exomecha was. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more like I almost want to say it kind of reminds me of Titanfall in a way. Just with it looks like you have these giant, like Megazord looking dudes battle in front of you while you're running around with a gun and whatnot. Yeah, this game looks awesome. I wish they'd put this in the damn show instead of in the pre-show. They should put the pre-show into the main show. This
Then
is
we would
Echo
have had to have seen Jeff Keighley's face for an hour.
Yeah, I don't feel like I was missing anything. He had a bunch of fucking streamer idiots on, so
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. He did have
Ninja-
Jacksepticeye on
Ninja
at one point.
I did think it was interesting that they showed Watch Dogs Legion, but they didn't show Valhalla, and they're both coming out
that's
here this
because
fall.
more people are excited about Legion and no one gives a shit.
Well,
Wow.
I'm definitely gonna play Legion first for Valhalla.
Yeah.
I definitely want to take over.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
One thing I love about these, Xbox did throw a little funny in there. I noticed I picked up on it when I watched the show twice, and they were going over. They talked about how they've got 9 of their 15 studios making games that from Xbox Studios in this showcase, but they also said the Xbox Series X is the most consistently powered next-gen console. So I did know that. So that was a little shade thrown at Sony.
Yeah.
I think for the variable, the different. I did pick up on that a little bit.
No,
Yeah,
that's
and that's fine. That's what they do.
Right.
All right, so one more, because I know that this was the highlight of MamaCita's night.
No, this is
Say something, MamaCita.
You want me to say something? What do you want me to say? What,
just say yes, Mike. It was the highlight of my night.
of course it was.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, definitely the highlight of my night.
Yes.
This was the man that she was waiting for the whole
This
show.
is it. Yes,
Finally
this is
showed
it.
up at the end.
That's
Finally
funny.
showed up at the end.
MamaCita's
Yes,
probably
it
doing
is.
online. She's doing online shopping right now.
No,
I would be too, as late as it's getting.
the thing is, like, this could be like after the third Fable, because you saw the the weapons in the ground and skeletons
Yeah.
and stuff. So
I do
Yeah,
like
They
though.
wanted to go all new story.
yeah,
I do like the Tinkerbell getting eaten by the frog though is really
yeah,
funny.
that's funny.
that was funny. So at least it makes me feel they're going to retain at least some of that humor.
Yeah.
That was humor. They definitely. I'm just curious as to how they're going to, I guess I said previously, they're rebooting the series, and then just how are they going to encompass the Fable lore? I'm just really curious, and I mean, I was just ready to order. Once I saw that, I said, okay, go ahead. I can go ahead and pre-order because I can wait, whether it's 2, 3, 4 years out. I know it's coming. That is a game that for me, that is a console seller. I am a Fable fanatic. So if we're going to grow the series as well, I just think Microsoft really has something special with Fable if they do it right.
You are the Albion Queen.
Oh yeah. I'm Alba, and the thing is, I played the Fables out of order, which is kind of crazy. I played Fable 3, 2, and then 1. Can you believe that?
Wow.
And Fable 2 was probably my favorite because it was the darkest, and the banshees with the Wolverines, and it was just it was my favorite. I liked Fable, the original Fable. I don't know if any of you have played all 3 of them. I think you have, John.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, Fable 2 was my favorite, like you, because that was the one where your axe, depending on what you did, it could make you look ugly. And my wife and I were playing it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 2 Xbox 360s, and I was doing everything like a saint. I was being nice and helping people out. So my character was flawless. My wife, she went to a village and accidentally killed a baby, and then she killed everybody in there. and her character got like real fat, and her
Yes,
skin
I
started
look like-
cracking, and
yes.
rays of light were shooting out of
Yes.
it. And she
Yes.
looked like Throw Mama from the Train. I thought, honey, what the hell happened to you? And she goes, I just slaughtered an entire village. I said, oh my God, you guys will start over.
I look like
You
a
look
se-
hideous.
I
you know?
look like a 75-year-old Pillsbury doughboy.
Right,
That's what my character ended up looking like.
right.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
horrible. You can't go back. You can't look better either.
No,
There's no
no.
potions or nothing.
No, there isn't. Whereas I think in Fable 3, you had, you could just kind of wait and your health would regenerate after a while. But in Fable 2, I mean, you didn't have any potions. You just you were SOL, and you had to. So it was a degree of difficulty in Fable 2 versus 3. But I just wonder where they're going and what time frame. Are they going to start the series? We know we had the industrial period with Fable 3. I don't know if they're going to go back to the original characters, the original storyline, and kind of build off of that. So I'm just really excited as to what they're going to do with it.
What I really liked was I can't forget the female actress that voiced the background. She narrated the game. That was wonderful because when she talked, you felt like you were in a fairy tale.
Teresa? Teresa K. Yes. And so it begins.
Yes, I loved her.
It was
She
just
was
so
excellent.
mystical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm getting excited,
I am
guys.
too.
Getting
There you
excited.
So I
Good
found.
night, dear.
There you go. Whoa.
No, I
What?
mean,
Wait, time out. Wait. Somebody said something. Wait, what was that? Did I hear that right?
Yes, you did.
no, literally. I mean, literally, it's getting hot.
Okay. Hey, I did want to show you guys this real quick, and then I had one more question before
I don't
we
have
roll
any
out.
fans. Oh,
I know. So I re-downloaded the Grounded trailer because it really is funny. So here's, for those of you who didn't really pay attention, here it is. Where's the...
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're ready for the smallest, we've got you covered. From Obsidian Entertainment, the makers of games that are nothing like this one. This summer, strive together to thrive together. Or just feed your friend to the spiders and go solo.
I cracked up at that, and it was funny that they made fun of themselves a little bit because everybody freaked out that was the next game Obsidian was making, which is the second time, by the way, that has happened. Because remember what happened with Ninja Theory? Oh no, they're making this arena shooter battle royale game. Microsoft has turned them into garbage. How could they make Bleeding Edge? And then they come out with, oh yeah, by the way, Hellblade 2. So everybody did the same thing with Obsidian. Oh no, Microsoft bought Obsidian and now they're making this stupid little Grounded game. When are they going to let these guys make their own game? And now we've got Avowed, that's coming. So I just thought from the maker of Obsidian, who makes games nothing like this. I thought that was cute. And the Cyberpunk, that was a cute little thing. And like I said, the Cyberpunk Twitter feed tweeted out at Grounded and said, "Hey, we see you guys." I thought that was pretty cool. So, and yes, Indy, we saw the Battletoads. So,
Oh yeah,
Coop said best trailer of the show. So,
yeah, that's gonna be a fun game. I look forward to that.
you know what?
It was a fun demo.
Yeah, that demo was pretty cool, and I'm gonna give it a good run, because I think you also have to give Obsidian a little trust here. You know, they're working.
Yeah, I think it's a game that they're gonna support for a while. Add some DLC, some stuff in there. Yeah, I look forward to it. I think when's that coming out in the game preview?
28th.
Okay.
The 28th. It's
Man,
about
I tell you, something's changed. Chris's walls look a little more golden than yours now, Mike. Look, they're shiny. Look, Chris's walls are like shiny gold. Look at that. That's
Mike
awesome.
did something to mine. He's trying to get Dad.
Did you up the resolution on his box?
Took some of mine and I threw it over to him.
Look at that.
It's just funny because Dad says HTK needs a yellow background, then that's half the battle.
Chris is in 4K 120. Look.
So, all right, my final question, and then it's time to roll us out of here because it's getting late. We also didn't see the price, nor have we seen a release date. And the only thing that can point us in any direction is that the Halo gameplay trailer still says holiday 2020, but that didn't have a date either. And we know that Halo is launching beside the console. So,
maybe if you buy Game Pass, you get the console for free.
That'd be nice. We are in a typical launch cycle. In a typical launch cycle, we would have known the price of the console a month ago at E3.
Right.
We would have known the release date a month ago. We are almost in August. And if you think about it, September, October, November, 3 months away from the launch of major consoles, and we don't know their price. And we don't know their release date. And we don't know truly their launch lineup. What and I get and COVID plays a part of this. I know that. But how much of a part is that really playing? This is like nothing we've ever seen before, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I can't remember the last time we went into the fall not knowing how much these consoles were going to be or when they were launching. I've never seen this before. And to be honest, and we haven't. We'll talk about it next week because I really don't want to spend time on the Amico tonight. I want to next week talk about that really funny trailer they have, and by next week too, we'll start talking about their press conference, which is on August 4th rather. But even they don't have a real release date at this point. They're still shooting for 10/10, but all signs are they're not going to make that. So, I mean, I know we keep saying they're playing chicken. Is that really what's happening?
Probably part of it. I mean, the thing is, like, they don't want to go first and either be like priced way too high or priced way too low.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that price difference.
They really want to make as much money as they can, but they...
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's
that
really,
price difference in the optics, what happened in 2013 E3, really put a big hit on Xbox after what PS4 did.
Yeah, but if you look at the X, they had no problems, with the X.
Yeah, but they didn't go really up against something at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that was more
already
like
had
premium.
They already had a Pro, against a PS Pro, they knew the
True,
price.
the Pro was out. Already.
So it's...
I agree with Chris and Peter. I mean, I think they are playing a game of cat and mouse because the just like for Sony, for example, they talked about how they're able to produce so many PS5s now, and that they're upping the amount, to be ready. So I don't even with the COVID, I don't think that's necessarily a problem for Sony or Microsoft. I think neither one of them, if you go back to 2013, that $100 made a big difference, regardless
Sure
of what. And to be honest, that made, and it maybe shouldn't have, because I got my Xbox One day one, but you got two consoles coming out same day and it's $100 cheaper. There's a lot of people out there that don't know about the specs of the consoles. They may not care about the 4K or the 120 frames per second. They just want something to play games. So when you got two consoles, I think the price is very important.
Which one plays my Fortnite the cheapest?
Exactly. So
Call of Duty, Fortnite, Madden.
Your everyday gamers, they're not like us discussing the resolutions, frame rates, developers. They're just
Exclusive.
they see $100 and they see a
yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. But Peter said they don't want to be too low.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why would you lose more money than you need to?
Right. You got
What
to
is too
value.
low?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's a good question. What's too low? Obviously, and let's be realistic. $200 is too low.
Yeah.
Is,
Okay.
is $399 too low?
$399. It's probably
We had consoles
knows? I mean,
25 years ago that were $399. 25 years ago. So I don't think $399 is too low.
Well, I don't know.
But it may. Well, I take that back. I think it
thing
is
is
now. Yeah.
Right.
But if
I
they're
mean, the
making,
thing is just like with price too. Once you go like too low, say very drastic thing, like $299 for say Xbox Series X, and $499 or $599 for a PS5. I mean, at a certain point, people look at that pricing and saying like, "Hey, one has to be more capable, better, because it's more expensive."
there is that. There is
Well,
that.
we've all bought the Amico pretty much, and they're $299, so that's $300. So if you get a Series X or a PS5 for $399, that's only a $99 difference.
No, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
seems crazy.
so man, I don't know, man. If
How much
we
is
get
the
it for
Atari thing?
$399, we're lucky.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Atari the Atari I thought was $400 too.
Yes, it is. The VCS
Okay.
is $399. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you've got
that's too low.
Not an Atari gear.
That's too high. That's right. Too low for
Yeah.
the Atari. I mean, this is just this is so different, and I don't. How do people plan for this?
I mean, and also Microsoft wants to match PlayStation's price.
I will
So
say
they
this,
really
though.
can't go first. Otherwise,
If-
it won't be a match.
If these new consoles come out for $399, I don't want to hear any griping about resolution or frame rates, because we're getting a steal for a price. I mean, for a new console, especially when they cost that 25 years ago. I mean, that's just,
$399 puts me back in the realm. Honestly, $399 gives me a second look. Especially if the Amico is going to push to Q1, which is something that's been talked about.
well, you can always trade up, Mike.
I could always trade up. That's another thing, is I could find out what my X would be worth and go
Nothing.
that route. Yeah, I don't know. 3 years, it's a collector's item.
True.
So
you should keep it. Hold
What
on
do you
to
think,
it.
Frankie?
I've got to get one before they stop making them, because I got to replace my old Xbox One, my
they-
original.
They
Yeah.
stopped making them.
Not yet, but I mean, what do you think, Frankie?
I think the way I'm looking at it is we bought the One X for $499, right?
Right.
So I feel like
Such a steal with a 1080p camera, the Kinect.
I almost feel like 500 is maybe like, I feel like that's the low point.
Hmm.
I do too. That's $499. I can see that. $4.99 seems cheaper than $500, even though it's only $1.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose.
$4.99
That's-
and
Yeah.
99
That
cents.
is exactly why they do that. Well, don't forget too that Sony has 2 SKUs. We didn't hear anything about a second SKU yet.
$4.99, $5.99. Simply because they
Wow.
can.
And you think they would do $100 difference between those two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've said that, Peter.
They can be
Yeah,
too.
we talked about
They can be
it.
too close together because then why bother with two?
It wouldn't.
you know?
Right, I agree with Peter. It wouldn't make a difference. $50.
Even though that
might as well-
drive, the
yeah.
drive itself is $20, but you know how it goes,
Right. Well, you have labor. Don't forget you got labor
right?
that you got to put in that.
Or maybe they'll throw a pack-in game or something in on one of them or something. You never know.
Or not Amico.
I'm right.
Right.
So,
The years of packing
Mom-
games.
Yeah.
Mama, where are you on the price piece? Since you're now in with Fable.
Well, I don't know. I've literally tried to figure it out. Like what are they going to do with this pricing? And I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. And I agree with what Frankie's saying. The One X was $4.99. The original Xbox was $4.99. We know it included the camera and with the Kinect, but I can't see them going much lower than that. And then if there's a Series XS or a Series S, I'm not sure how that's going to incorporate anything, but I don't know. I was saying originally that I thought it was because of COVID. There was going to be some production issues or maybe some delays, and maybe everybody's just trying to just wait it out. But it almost looks like they're kind of doing this pricing war, and then just kind of see who's gonna bite first and who's gonna come out, and then just try to undercut it. That's just the way it appears to me. But I'm gonna say I'm thinking $4.99 is probably the sweet spot on both consoles. I can't see it being under much less than that. I can even see it being priced higher, especially if there's another SKU.
Yeah.
And we know it is with PS5. So.
How long? And actually, you know what? Real quick, there's a couple of really good comments in the chat. Pong said a couple of things that resonate. He says he thinks it's exactly what's happening, and Microsoft can afford to take a hit more than Sony can. And he said he thinks Microsoft would love to undercut the PlayStation by $50, and a good chance they will. Mm-hmm. Super Cooper says that I doubt they'll have pack-in games, just Game Pass. And a year of Game Pass, or say 6 months of Game Pass, could be as good as a pack-in game, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They will do that.
even
They will,
better.
they might never do a packing game.
Yeah, it didn't have to be a
Unless
packing
this
game,
is-
just an extra bonus of some
Yeah.
sort. An extra controller or something, or whatever.
And
That's
Richard,
Only a Costco.
yep, and Richard kind of echoes you, Peter. He says, I have a funny feeling if they both are trying to hit $3.99, and if either one thinks they can get away with $5.99, that would be a huge mistake. I mean, yeah, if you think you can, if you could target $3.99 but you can get $4.99, I mean, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
All right.
So, final question on this is how much longer do you guys think these guys can go before somebody's got to flinch? Mama?
Well, let's assume consoles come out in November,
Yep.
and so
Okay, so assuming I'm sorry. Thank you, Peter. Yes, assuming we are talking about a standard November launch. MamaCita, how long could they go, both Sony and Microsoft, before somebody's got to flinch?
Well, how long I would like them to go is tomorrow, but just from what they're doing, I would probably say September 1st, the latest. I would say.
Okay.
I can't see it being much any past that. I mean, you're like heading into the fall by then. So I mean,
and yeah, and Richard's saying something that I'm kind of getting at. There's pre-orders to consider here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to get your pre-order numbers in. You know, retailers have got to get their pre-order orders into both these guys so they get the right amounts.
But here's another thing. I mean, with the whole COVID, and we know, you know, we'll have consoles, but how many can they really crank out? And that relates to, you know, your pre-orders, how many pre-orders you can do.
Yeah.
So PlayStation said 10 million.
Well, I mean, they're shooting for
That's by
10
the end
million.
of the
Will they
first
get 10
year,
million, or will they only get like 7 million? You don't know.
That's not for launch though.
Right.
I saw
They're not
something
gonna
that PlayStation was having another show August 5th or 6th or something like that. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
I
but
think I
that was
saw that.
made by
Is that
an
legit?
I think that was an account that's, yeah, it's not a very reliable account.
I think if they both, supposedly they both might have another show in August, whether they show more games or whatever, or I think that'd be the time where they reveal the price and get a little bit more dive in on the hardware.
Okay. So you're thinking August. How far, Chris, real quick, do you think they could go? What's the breaking point?
I would say no later September. You can't go past September.
Okay.
I
Frankie,
mean,
what do you think?
You already
Yep.
got
Go
games
ahead.
coming out in October.
Yep. Frankie, how far? I mean, and you've worked retail, so you kind of have a little bit of inside knowledge on release dates and stuff. So
Honestly, I don't think they can go past August. Like they have to say something by the end of August.
okay, so you're in September 1.
But do you think
Deadline.
it gets placeholders? You know,
Placeholder
on,
pricing or placeholder?
placeholder pricing when people put down their, you know,
Probably not.
they say $6.99.
I
I don't know.
I think they'd be afraid to because if they put a placeholder in that ends up being cheaper, like people are
Well,
gonna
yeah,
be pissed
true.
because they don't honor it.
Well, that's why I said $6.99.
Yeah. Placeholder,
Yeah, then-
$1,000.
Then, yeah,
$1,000.
when they come out, they're $1,200.
Right. So,
Yeah.
John, how far do you think they can go?
I'm going to say the middle of August, and the reason I say that is because these consoles they typically launch like November 15th to the 22nd, somewhere in the second, third week. That would give them about 90 days. So I'm thinking no later than the middle of August. I think September's even too late.
I don't.
You know, to
Definitely
drop,
before
especially
Labor
if
Day.
they're $4.99, $5.49 or something. You need to give people a little time to. Of course, I've already been prepared. I mean, we've known these consoles are coming out for a long time, so I'm already prepared, you know, to pay whatever. But you need to give people some time, though.
Yeah, and you know that's a.
But
good
here's the
point.
thing: if you're starting now to save up, you're kind of late.
That's right. That's, you know, if you're waiting now to save, it really puts you in a bind.
Well, sure, but you know, the 15th through the 22nd is a good point because you're not launching these consoles on Black Friday or around.
No.
You know, you're not launching after Black Friday. You're not
Right.
launching. You've got to launch that window before. So Peter, what's the drop dead date for you?
Labor Day, not after, so before.
Well, that console is wearing white.
There you go.
So
Then do that after Labor Day. So yeah, there we go.
all right. Okay.
But Labor Day is
I-
kind of late this year, right? Isn't it?
Yes, it is the second week
So
because it's my
yeah.
birthday.
so it's
Oh, wow.
maybe move that up
My
to,
birthday is on the 3rd.
and for the schools that do start. Oh no, they start online, so you want to
Right,
do
it's
that
not gonna
before
matter.
that too.
So
Will you join the geriatric age of me and Peter at 47?
no, I'm getting there. I'm almost there.
Oh, you're.
Almost there. So, all right. Man, we went. I'm destined to keep us under 3 hours because we started earlier to finish earlier. So I want to
Right.
get John and Chris to bed. So
All right.
No, I don't go to work.
Oh
tomorrow, I
well,
don't care.
I don't
care if
like
John
the
goes to
sound
work
of that. What do you mean? God dang it! Jeez, I hope the little kids are went to bed already. I've been propositioned at 11:50 on NLG. It's official.
Why's it gotta
ladies
be me and
gentlemen.
John? Why don't you
Mike
let
wants
Frankie and
me.
John go to bed together? They're the ones that've been arguing all night.
Well, he's got to get me to bed. I don't think so.
Just leaving my eyes open.
I
I'll
mean,
take
ever,
money, but whatever.
ever since John said Witcher 3 that he liked it, I mean, Frankie got a little excited there.
Good grief, man! I'm feeling
You know,
strange everywhere. Is that
Might end up in that Witcher 3 bathtub.
Oh, the whole shows went to hell, man.
Yeah, well, thank God it did it at the end. Oh,
I
my
knew you'd
goodness.
wait till I had 3 or 4 beers.
Pong will be 59 on Sunday. Happy birthday, Pong. And
birthday,
kicking and still gaming. That's what we're talking about.
yeah.
When we're 59,
I'll be
we're
giving
going to
that
be here
59.
arguing about the Xbox Series Double Z.
Double Z.
Now,
The
I had brought
PS12.
this up about, with you have, and I know it kind of doesn't matter because of cross-gen, but do you think that Xbox will try to launch before PS5?
I don't
Try
know
to get
how.
a head start.
I can't. I gotta. Stop.
I can't even talk.
Yeah, we're just
I got
trying to
nothing.
have to
Elevated.
I got
blushed.
nothing left.
We lost MamaCita.
We
She's
lost
gone.
MamaCita.
MamaCita can't stop laughing.
It's
Look.
goofy when it gets late. So
Yeah.
y'all didn't
Oh
help.
my God.
I didn't help.
Oh. That's only one Mike's Hard Lemonade too.
Yeah, I'm just
I don't know if I want any of Mike's hard lemonade. Round the corner fudge is made.
Hey, Frankie hadn't even dropped a smile, nothing. He's not even human. Sorry, Frankie.
Oh, where's the stop show button? Oh boy.
All right,
Okay.
I'll quit.
Let's-
Sorry.
Dad got excited. He woke up.
Dad woke up.
Started
Oh,
going on
second
yellow.
wind.
oh my gosh.
Peter has no idea how to feel about this. He is just
Yeah, it's like, where's that stop
Nobody
button?
wants to go to
Right,
bed with me.
it's
Oh,
Mike and his
my chest. I'm too old for this.
me and my childish hijinks. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness.
Phew.
My lady, it was wonderful to have you tonight. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. You always bring it. And I want to thank you for coming on. And I know you wanted to come on, post this this show to talk about, talk about the Xbox. Stop. Let's get out of here. Come on. And I want to
MamaCita,
tell
we
you,
need you on every week.
Dad
Come
said
on.
he is wide awake now. All right. So anyway, I want to
Well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for inviting me, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys.
And you are always welcome. I got to turn him off because if I keep looking at John, I'm just going to crack up.
And the chat doesn't help either.
No, the chat does not help. The chat is always willing to push this right along.
Yeah.
This may go down as my favorite show.
Oh man. So you know what's really awesome though? The entire European contingent is still in the chat. Indy, Lepanier, and Daz. And I'm sure Whitty's still there. He's probably just high at this point. So that's impressive. The sun has come up for them, and they're still. and they're,
Thank you.
on the other
God.
hand, Coop said it's not even 9 p.m. Lightweights.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So another show in the books. Thank you, chat room. I mean, seriously, European. We're Canadian. I wasn't talking about you, Pete. We're Canadian. Nice geography.
Matt don't care about the
We're
Canadians.
Canadian. Yeah, that's
Yes, I don't think Indie Gamer's Canadian, but just saying. So,
it's European territory.
right. Just because you were owned by the French. All right.
Well,
They're more European than we are.
Le Pontier.
Oh my God. Pete says everyone's Canadian. Oh, come on. No one had more fun than our show today. Bringing it to you like only we can. No fanboy bullshit, no console warring, just love what we love, play what we play. Everybody had something to take out of this show. And that's what I love about it. Everybody had something to to grab onto, to say, I enjoyed. Will you stop it? To say, and that's what I was. That's what I love about. That's what I love about talking with you guys and the chat room. Is it, this is the place everyone should have. Oh, Le Pontier is from Montreal. All right.
Quebec.
Of course he is.
Anyway, so I want to thank everybody in the chat, my brothers, my lady.
Yep.
That's
All
always
right.
a pleasure. And
Okay.
Thank you,
MamaCita,
MamaCita.
anytime you want, you have an open
Yeah.
invitation. Anytime you want to come on, if you're just hanging out, you're like, you know what, I feel like going on NLG one night. All you gotta do is hit us up,
Okay.
and you are always welcome to.
Well-
And when we get to the point to where these games are launching, and especially when we start getting some more Fable information, it's definitely
Yeah.
gonna have you back, because
Okay. And next time I'll try not to guest co-host.
oh no,
Sorry for the
that
interruption.
Oh
No.
my God, no!
I'll do
that
my
was-
best not to
I
guest
was just gonna say, I was gonna kick back and just let someone else do this for a night. I was happy. So,
Anytime you
gave
want
us
to
his
come on
Fables
and you
anyway.
want to question John, you can question him anytime. I mean, 'cause if it's not Frankie questioning him, we need someone else to do it.
Right?
Yeah,
someone's got
I
to.
want somebody that just wants answers, doesn't want to take me to bed. Oh, I don't know about that. Who knows?
It's the last time I try to do something nice for somebody. All right, folks.
right.
Everybody, have a great week. We'll have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We will see you next Thursday night at 9 p.m. here on the original Next Level Gaming. And as we always say, good night, play on, gamers.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Thank you.
Later, everybody. Have a good one.